forced down. So now Voil and TJ are right next to each other, but cannot get touched by the storm. How well do you edit? Do you do your drills? Do you do your practice? Can you hit your shots? The answer is yes. Voil picking up Nikiski there as TJ still needs just a stiff breeze to knock him over. It's Voil and TJ on the mid-tarp. Dyslexic on that low ground. Gabe and Pokes above him on the high ground. Zeke, you see Gabe in the top right, Dyslexic in the bottom right, everyone else on the mid-tarp.
Yes, I am. But now TJ, I mean, if anyone even blinks on him right now, Pyro goes down. TJ's in a world of trouble right now. Dyslexic on the lowest ground now. Gabe and Poax, they just need to close this out. We see another pair of the duo. Now it's just a 2v1. They need to drop down on this player, and there you go, textbook. That is a player going back to the lobby, and a victory royale for Gabe and his duo partner Poax. 7 eliminations, so a 17-point game. You like to see it. You like to see it indeed.
It's definitely Pokes, not Poax.
Pokes?
Definitely Pokes.
Pokes, okay. I'm sorry, listen.
If it's Poax and I'm wrong, I'll eat Zeke's sock on stream. And don't just say it because you're wrong. Now jumping right on board with Tfue and Cloak. I was going to say your shoes, but I know you love those shoes. They're brand new. They're nice. Everyone compliment him. Jumping on board here with Cloak and Tfue. See them already splitting the builds over by Polar Peaks. So plenty of variable vertical terrain going to be coming into play. And you also see the shadow bombs in the inventory of Cloak. Not sure if Tfue has any, but Yellow also in the match. So not the only FaZe members hanging around. JT in there. You see Tazumi heading for that community jump pad, Nanolite and Top Gun using the zip line to rotate up that Old Man Mountain. Cloakseat missing the jump up, but put in a cheeky little trap there. So if anybody opts to take that ramp, it will fire. Not sure how well that one works out for him. You have Tyler and Tyler picking up 1, 2, 3, 4 elims coming down from Tyler and Lennon. Nanolite does get picked up by Cloakseat to push us into that top 15 as now he turns and gets an angle on basically the rest of the lobby, who's forced to rotate up.
And Polar Peak, just like you talked about, that elevation is absolutely deadly. You know, you have to make these rotations as quickly as possible. The longer you wait to make the rotation, the worse, in every sense of the word, it is for you and your duo partner. Now, keep in mind, Tfue qualified in solos. So right now, they're looking to qualify together as a duo, and potentially Cloak may even try to qualify as solo as well. We're going to find a few eliminations along the way. That Sting Grenade, very good, but I don't think he picked up that elimination on the left. I think that was someone else because that did not come through.
Correct. He did not get that elimination. Was putting a ton of pressure. Now they're trying to use the stick plus the RPG to get the conversion on the elim. The player, will he crawl out? No. So that was the first one who he down. The other player is low. Tfue will convert on that. Now they're going to go play Loot Goblin in that funnel that they just saw get shot out. Should have enough coverage and a nice little upgrade there, upgrading the shotgun rarity, and then they should be able to push out. Now we're going to swing on board, have 2 of the Pyro players, Happy and Bambi. And I think Pyro is another kind of one of these friend groups. Please correct me if I'm wrong, because I absolutely love those stories, like-minded players pushing each other to get better. Now you see Happy and Bam getting whatever shots they can in there, a couple of knocks, but nothing converted yet as they go for the rift. Joseph converts the knock onto Exist and pushes them up another point for 6 elims, and you see the horde of ballers working their way over the mountain like lemmings, just all following each other, going down there. And honestly, this is the most we've seen in a match for a while.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it just depends on your play style and what you kind of find, and whether or not players decide to punish you for using a baller. Tfue and Cloak here, I like that they're passing things along. Keep in mind, they're again, we're talking about the viability of these shadow bombs, right? And right now, Cloak thinks it's so valuable, he'll keep just the one in his inventory. He feels he can put it to that much work, and I want to see that happen, right? Because again, this item literally hit the game this week, I believe. And so I love when new stuff hits the game, man. I want to see how players adapt, how they change they adapt it to their playstyle. Maybe they're like, you know what, I don't like it, but I know how to work against it. I want someone else to use it because I'm going to abuse and punish them for trying to use that against me. You know, it just shakes up the meta, and that's what I like to see. We saw a Boogie come through, nothing there though, as Tfue looks like he's going on the hunt.
Oh, he stole the ball!
He stole the baller! Did he take the baller away?
He just took it and dipped. He took it and left. Tfue's like, you're boogieing, you can't do anything. I'm going to take the baller and leave since he was so low health. He leaves Cloak to then fight it out, and Cloak's now going to pop that shadow.
Can you make the double jump?
No, he needs to start wall jumping. No, instead he's going to be in the 1-by-1. Jay had no idea. He had absolutely no idea Cloaksy had landed it. Now Cloaksy is in the fray on the mid-ground tarp, going to be able to 90s way back up as we get outside Polar Peak, as Lupo would say, 90s, 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 but doesn't necessarily need it as you hear other players popping that Shadow Storm. Now only 14 builds left. Needs to be careful. Knows he's on the backside of the storm. Trying to find the rotation. Misses the first shot, but forces Pyro Happy down. And he gets it. He gets the knock on the Happy, but not quite the Siphon yet. And he needs to still go upwards. 4 builds, 3 builds. 3 HP does get dropped down. Knows the Siphon's going to come through. Tfue is right next to him. Needs that Siphon to take over. Still on 3 HP. And he gets it, but he got down right the minute it happened. Clap Pro came down. He said, hey, you good? You need a shotgun? I got one for you. Bang! Gets the down. Tfue, though, still just grappling around. The 3 ballers doing everything they can to keep their HP and stay inconspicuous. Dequavas picks up JT and Pacifist, and now we might be playing duos in week 4, but this is a solo lobby, Z. 7 players remaining, 7 duos. Who's going to be able to celebrate with their partner? It's not Flips, and he's not alive anymore. Bambi knocking him out, dropping into the lobby. Great elimination there, and he's trying to clean this one up. Last placement threshold is top 5, and Joseph gets Tfue right before dropping him down there now as Bambi is working back through those natural builds. This is so tense. Gets the edit, doesn't fire a shot, and is getting absolutely worked here. But Renan, the dwarf, is dwarfed by Bambi. This is no movie here. He's biting back, doing the hunting himself and working his way down from the high ground. Will he be able to find it? Lost Sampa goes down. Bambi putting in work. Does have mats now, and he walls him out. He could just wall him out here, Zeke.
He's going to try and do that. He's got the health advantage for sure. Can he just close the game out? We hear a shot come out, but nothing is connected. It doesn't matter. He shuts E11's Joseph down.
11 elims total. 11 elims total. 21 match point. And 8 coming out from him. Great work, a fantastic individual effort, and I mean, that's a fossil and a half, going from one side of Polar to the other and then back over again. Whew.
Wait a minute, I'm doing the math in my head. He had 11 eliminations and shut down E11 Joseph. I don't know where I'm going with this. I just thought it was a coincidence. NAE still going on. The games are still happening. Flossen here alongside his dual partner, Rogue Shark _.
Okay.
I'm in a weird mood right now. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. Twitch chat said, okay, 121. That is great. Now that player, oh no! They couldn't follow up. They got a massive break on the player, but someone else beamed them from the right.
So what they should be looking for now is to get the second player knowing he's trying to get in there. Yeah, they're going to sneak that rocket in. They want it, and they got it. So they're fine. No, they didn't. They didn't get the second player. They just got the conversion, so no points going over for Flossen and Rogue Shark. Unfortunately, they're just not going to get anything. And we talked about it before, how the heavy snipe RPG combo is incredibly helpful when you're catching somebody off guard. When they know it's coming and they can have 2 layers in between, it makes it that much more difficult. And that player was able to disengage despite 2 other ARs being over there. But now they're going to try and head on over and play a little Loot Goblin themselves, get whatever they can of that. And unfortunately, it's not going to be a lot as they're then forced to rift out to get out of dodge.
And now they have their pickings for where we're going in the circle. But take a look at the bottom right. I mean, everyone's already ready. They've already established themselves in the safety of this new circle here in Storm Circle 5. So it depends. I mean, like, you know, they have quite a bit of height as well because the elevation is going back down into this little ravine. So they have a ways to glide if they want to wait. But I feel like they want to try and establish themselves. Maybe, there you go, Rogue. So I was going to say, they could just dive down. And you saw there on the right side of the screen, Rogue Shark. Words are so hard. Are going to go ahead and dive on down. But let's check in with Artsy and Devin, see how they are doing. Now, keep in mind, again, this is just that visual bug. See, he's got a serpent hand. It's not showing up Don't worry, guys. We're constantly working and refining this spectator client. We're going to get it up and running as best as possible. Don't even worry about it. So between them, they have 3 elims. Again, top 15 is the first set of placement points. So these guys are going to probably try and look to slow their gameplay down. You know, that 3 points could definitely be enough to just rocket you up the leaderboard. So, and they have the 2 shadow bombs as well. So they're looking to survive right now, is what it feels like.
I mean, every point here matters. Like Golden Boy was talking about, it was 61 points was the cutoff for EU, and that ended up being the line. So tiebreakers would have got you through. I believe the one post he was talking about was somebody with 59 points and 3 victory royales. You know, normally in a tournament setting, you know, like, yeah, I'll take it. 5.9 average points, 3 wins. That should be good enough. Well, wasn't good enough in EU, and it's gonna take every single point in NA. It was low 40s last week for duos. Expect that to continue to be pushing up. But now we have Flossen not sitting in queue. He's sitting on high ground. Him and Rogue Shark able to take that one back away, and gonna opt for a late jump pad rotation as we move back over the high ground. So everyone who guessed correctly and stayed on the initial near side of that rotation, doing well. But Flossen gonna be able to, oh no, this is Rogue Shark, able to drop right on into that box and pick up. I'm a walking big pot. Well, indeed you are, sir. At least on brand with that one. Rogue Shark gets the double trap to fire off. Looks like the player did go down there as well. Great cleanup, fragging himself single-handedly into that top 15 as well. So big swing from them as he gets ripped up into the sky. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players at least up there. Collateral Zest picking up HIB, but Captain, my Captain, picks him up right after that as well. Zill trying to get out and rotate away as Fozam also takes a nice little boop off the launch pad before he boops. Enzo in the high ground fight with Tabs, and he has nothing to drop down here. He is committed unless he waterfalls.
He's going to try and go for it. This is a very scary. He's got 15 effective HP right now. He does have a single mini, but that is within critical range. Any mistake here will cost him his life. He's going to continue to try and find something. He needs to convert something, anything. 9 build Sun. He's coming down to literally the last few resources.
He got it.
Oh my God!
What was that? A brilliant jump 180 shot, but still only 14 builds and only 65 effective HP could still be picked up. The youngster from Ghost, another one of those players we always talk about. Again, the recruiter, very good, but you have Kadron and Tabs in ultimate high. You have Zill and B-Hegs on that low ground. Everyone else in between Frey and Murky and Link holding the dominant position, but Flossen and Rogue Shark are directly underneath him as Flossen now goes to charge the high ground.
He's going to go out in the storm to do it. He took 30 damage for it. We'll have to see if that works out in his favor. He's going to take away the high ground. 113 on that player, and that is a shutdown. So it's going to be great conversion over there, but instead he gets traded out. Another player goes to push, and that's Tabs who trades him out. And now Rogue Shark has to do something to keep their okay, so I spoke too soon.
Took it out as Link also took out Enzo. So now you have Kadron, or your Tabs in your top right, Davon in your bottom right, and then you can see everyone else in the wide on your left as Frey goes down. You have Fozam, Link, Opevs in between, then Davon with his dual artsy on the low ground as Tabs starts to work from the high ground downward. Now Link picks up Fozam. That will end up converting over into an elim shortly, but he needs to be careful and pick it up before it does. No, he goes down, dropping the point and dropping the siphon from Zam right there. Now Tabs looking to put pressure onto Opevs. Artsy and Davon doing everything they can, but they're going to get forced up against awkward Old Man Mountain, Zeke.
They need to try and build up. They only have 16 builds. The player drops down. They're going to find the elimination. Now it is, I mean, they have, like you said, they have to go up. It's 2v1. Tabs is by himself, and you saw what he just did to the players up above. They need to try and change elevation quickly. Tabs is going to shut them down, trying to do that while also maintaining the highest ground tarp. And they're saying, no, Tabs, stop that. He's going to drop down. They're going to go toe-to-toe. It's 100. Oh.
That's so, if you wait too late to challenge 1v2 and you don't have the builds to cover yourself, it becomes way too difficult to hit the shots. Tabs, while doing his best there to maintain the high ground, probably should have rolled it up, like ran it out, and forced them to end up taking that heal off or taking a trade at the end rather than forcing a fight with no mats. But brilliant effort, good work from Davon to close it out. And Golden Boy, what do you got for us back in the studio?
Wow, what an insane end to that game. Thank you so much, fellas. Zeke in Sundown, but I'm joined now with Dr. Lupo.
That's
and he's
me.
got some, that's you.
That's
You've
me.
got some things you want to talk about. You got some clips that you want to cover. Break it down, Doctor.
I want to take a look back at.
I like that.
I'm a robot, all right, deal with it. No, take a look back at a number of the things that we saw over the course of the last couple of games. Right here, actually, you and I had the opportunity
We literally talked about this.
Teammates taking roles when pushing into a box. Right there, you see an opportunity to just W key your way in. Festival on top of that. By the way, do you see the name there? Tim got more points. Just throwing it out there. But Festival there, waiting, baiting his opponents through their own edit, taking shots as they push through. Meanwhile, back to Prepo, star of our first clip, beaming Deadbolt from above, waiting for those last-second opportunities. Players at this level take advantage of every moment that they can. And right here, boxing in as his opponent moves directly in front of him. But that's not the only thing. Constant pressure, constant aggression. Ninja following Posick through the air, literally, changing direction, landing directly on top of him, inside the box, gets that quick one shot. Top of that, Ninja, I don't know if you saw that, just for a second there, he was getting pursued from behind, walled himself off. They stopped pursuing, so he doubles back, gets the edit, pushes in behind, gets the elimination. He's not the only one put on a good show. Cloak and Tfue both beaming from the outside. This is, if you watch this, Rocket into Stink, into suppressed AR, just spraying into the box. That is almost the most pressure I think you can apply as one person on a single opponent as they're trying to build to defend a knock. The amount of danger there is crazy, and it just the awareness as they're making these plays is kind of scary because at this level you have to realize, and a lot of these players are very young. There's going to be people that stand out above pretty much everybody else because they're used to these kind of situations. FaZe and Cloak and Tfue have kind of the one-up in a situation like that because they've been in, on the main stage for the final event, and they've been able to hit shots like that. Ninja's in the same situation. You have a lot of very, very young players. Now, you still have an absolutely ridiculous showing from the entire age range, don't get me wrong. But when it comes to tomorrow, stuff like that, you're not going to see things like that happen consistently, or as consistently, I should say, because sometimes pressure will overtake. Yeah. You have players that are playing in excellent positions, but maybe a weapon swap goes wrong, maybe they miss a build, maybe they miss an edit, which we've already seen from multiple players today.
Very true, very true.
Can't wait to see what happens tomorrow.
I mean, when you discuss like the pressure that they're feeling here, this isn't even the worst part because you're going to be playing, if you qualify, you're going to be playing in New York.
You think today's bad?
Yeah,
tomorrow's
exactly.
bad?
Yeah.
You make it to New York City.
Exactly.
Things change big time.
Exactly. But that is for another day. For now, though, here are the NAE standings, and Landjock and Punisher.
Little swap there.
Yeah, they're going to be in that first place position now. You got that swap, 2-point lead. They have 3 games remaining. Nut and Zundi still, though, performing very well. They're going to be at 88 points, holding that down. We also see some new names coming into this one, like Lenon and Tyler 15, who are not in the top 10. They're going to climb their way up here. And again, more names that people may not be too familiar. And then, of course, familiar faces like in 10th place, Cloud and Kaizui.
You look at this board, you see the list of names here. Who stands out as the one that you really want to see push their way to the top tomorrow?
That's actually a really good question. I actually am going to have to go with Landjock and Punisher because we've seen them in so many events in the past, and I feel like this could be their opportunity. I don't want to. I'm just gonna knock on this here just for you guys, right? Keep it fair. But yeah, I want to see them do really well, and I think that they have the capability to do it. Clearly showing that here today.
Absolutely. For me, Tyler 15 and Lana are. That duo is very interesting to me because I had an opportunity to talk to at Secret Skirmish Tyler in the lobby of the hotel for a little bit beforehand, and he had not put it. He's very new to PC gaming. Yeah. And the fact that he's already up here on this board, and a player like we call him Lenon. He's French Canadian, so that's how you pronounce it. He was extremely close to qualifying, I believe, for solos in the very first week. Fell just short. So seeing them this high on the apparently I apologize. They did already qualify. I just got hit by production. I must. That was 2 weeks ago. I must have missed that. My bad. There's been so many things happening. But that
so many things.
That duo though is that they are. It's interesting to see them work together and still just climbing on this board.
That is a duo
that
you have to be very concerned about in the final event, without a doubt, man. Right? There are a lot of great duos that have established themselves, but I think we also have a lot of players that are relative unknowns, right? I'm going to go and say it. I mean, look at Dubs and Mega. They just got picked up by FaZe Clan. Dubs made a name for himself qualifying in that first week. The only unsigned player to do so. Now your boy signed the contract. He's on FaZe. Look at that, right? I mean, how things change, how the turntables, to quote The Office. Anyway.
That's
all right. So we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have plenty more Fortnite action for you. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a 5-minute break, and we'll see you on the other side.
What's going on, Fortnite fam? Sundown here, and we'll be hanging out with Bala and Zeke as we recap Week 3 of the Fortnite World Cup Online Open Qualifiers.
Week 3 started off with a bang, as Cat Taking Walls, Jinx, Link, and Lucid FN were all battling it out for the top spot. In the end, Cat Taking Walls was able to secure himself the first qualifying spot with 80 points and punched his ticket to the finals in New York City.
Top Banny was the clear victor coming out of the Asia region. His 102-point score was 20 points over the qualification threshold and 17 points ahead of the second player to qualify. Takamura was able to earn the second qualification spot out of Asia, overcoming a slower start to storm up the leaderboard and into the final.
Over in Europe, the competition was fierce, as players aimed to take one of the 8 spots up for grabs. Ultimately, Luki TJK took the #1 spot with 69 points, followed closely by Cooler Left Eye at 68 and Fledermoys at 67 points. T-Chubb finished his matches early, ending with 63 points, and it was enough to secure 4th place. Core Gaming GG was able to win his last match to secure 5th, with Wakey just behind him in 6th. The last 2 spots were taken by Fact LOL Boom from Ireland and Secret de Mentos from Latvia, rounding out the top 8 from Europe.
Brazil had a huge opportunity in Week 3 as they had a second qualifying spot. It was an all-out brawl, but after the dust has settled, I'm Lasers was sitting at the top of the leaderboard with 79 points. 2 players tied second with 76 points. Kurtz and 9Z Lagardo had their eyes set on the finals, but Kurtz edged out the competition with his back-to-back victory royale.
North America kicked off with 6 spots to earn in the East. Tfue was able to secure first place, netting himself 69 points with a last match victory royale. TTV Unknown X Army became the first controller player to earn his spot, gathering 67 points to take second place. Qualifying spots 3, 4, and 5 were taken by FaZe Funk, Niddle FN, and CLG Som with 64 points apiece. Week 1 qualifier Dubs was in 6th place, which meant Misfits Clicks secured the final solo qualification spot and also became the first player from North America to qualify for both solos and duos in the Fortnite World Cup Finals.
The final 2 spots of the day were up for the taking in NA West. KNG's Epic Whale posted 81 points to claim first place, 10 points clear of the cutoff for qualification. The final qualifying spot was earned by Stepbro Karhu. The 14-year-old, originally from Finland, was able to secure 73 points, barely edging out Liquid Scented for his trip to the Fortnite World Cup Finals in New York City.
That's it from us. Thanks for hanging out, Bala and Zeke, and we'll see you guys on the Battle Bus.
Well, if you're watching the BTS, you just saw Monster run off, but I promise you this bit is going to be worth it. What's going on, Fortnite fam? I'm Zeke. We're here in week 4 of the Fortnite World Cup Online Open, which means we're back in the duo format. Now, we're not going to mince words. We're going to get ready to get right in the action, so I need my casters. I need Golden Boy. I need Monster D-Face. Gentlemen, bring it in. The bit was worth it.
You see? Nice, nice. We got to go over here.
Totally
we got to go over here or else production's going to kill us.
spots.
I actually do not want to be killed by production. Welcome, everyone. Golden Boy, Monster D-Face here, ready to talk about some more Fortnite action. It's going to be a good one. And Zeke, I don't know if that bit really hit the way we wanted it to, you know? But it's okay.
I expected jumping high fives, but it's all right. With that,
he's just walking. Zeke's just walking in front of cameras. These Epic employees think they can just do whatever they want. This is terrible. These are shenanigans. Let's go into the game. Monster, I just want to jump into the action. I'm tired of Zeke's craziness.
Absolutely.
Thinks his shoes are better than mine.
Let's talk a little bit about Tfue and TSM Cloud. We saw them on the leaderboards just before we came off of that nice little break there in top 10, guys. So these are a power duo in the contention right now for a top 10 slot. All of these games matter. I believe they had about 3 to 4 games left. Everyone in that top 10 was just about around that 3-game threshold remaining.
This has certainly been a very competitive week 4 of duos. As we discussed earlier regarding EU, 61 points was that cutoff. And it's crazy to think that, you know, like, had that been like a number that we'd seen in like week 1, I think we would have been blown away by it. I mean, we were even seeing that in late games, but now we're in this situation where players are just racking up points so much, and it's just been so impressive to see. But over here to Cloud and Tfue, and this is another duo that has really shown up quite a bit in competitive Fortnite, doing very well for themselves.
I was going to say, if anything, Tfue has really shown up as an individual player for quite some time now. So to see him paired up with someone like Clouds, who's mechanically gifted, this is going to be a scary duo. We will see how they kind of formulate and develop as time continues. But I mean, so far so good. This is a good, you know, pre-qualifier day here. And nice shots down here by Clouds as he picks off a player. Turbo building being held up there. Is he going to have, or actually, sorry, it's Tfue and Clouds who are putting the pressure up there.
Yeah, so that was just, again, a good read there by Tfue, recognizing that he had that player basically right where he wanted him. And, you know, I think that just goes to show you, right, like how these players, they're looking for those cues, those visual cues, right, recognizing when they, how to shoot their gun, but also when they can push those advantages, right? That is something that has been just constantly evolving, these players constantly improving. Even right there, right? You see weak builds and you have a blue SMG, go for it. Go for the shots because you're probably going to tag them up and putting some pressure on someone. It's not the worst thing, especially when you know that you're going to have that rift to go for a safe rotation.
That's right, and we count those as small victories, getting those small little chip damages here and there, and I don't know.
They may not need
going off with a rift there. They had 3 rift in inventory, so Cloud has 2, Tfue had 1. He just wanted to burn it, I guess, out of the slot there. Although there was a geyser, so kind of an interesting play to go rift here. Now
they go higher up with the rift, right?
All the way for ultimate high.
If they just had the geyser, they probably would have just clashed right against that mountain. But with the rift to go, they go higher up. So as you see here, they were able to get that ultimate high ground and pick up some more knocks as well as eliminations.
So many players get knocked to the storm there. That brings them up to 8 eliminations here, and they are holding the best spot in the map, or on the map right now, which is that highest level here. You got some grapplers or ballers being played here. Another knock's gonna go there. He actually tried to get up and over with the ball. He gets caught out by Tfue, and Cloud put that player down. So he was not free to rotate there at all.
Cloud needs to be a little careful here as well, because that baller player was going up in a circle, and I was concerned that maybe the baller would have tried to go around and then knock him off of the high ground, which would have been very unfortunate to see. But still, the high ground being maintained here by Kaizuri and Cloud. Players gliding down. They're just going to be easy pickings for this duo, which they accomplish just that. That's going to be 10 eliminations, and we're going to be close to that top 10. 11 duos remaining in this lobby, and we're going down a hill into some tree areas, which means that visibility is going to be very, very poor for that team in the ultimate high ground.
Yeah, and there's still 10 teams left, so there's a couple duos still in play here. Anything can happen. Django and Classic still alive, working together here in the mid layer as they are battling up over a mountain. YRK eats a shotgun, and so does his duo back to back. Can he connect with the third here? It's going to be a tight one. He decides, no, it is time to get on out as he is going back up this mountain now.
He doesn't have his teammate. Bear that in mind. Django's out of the game, so it's going to be all up to Classics to be able to pick up the eliminations as well as get them that placement. Up above, you have Kaizui and Cloud in a fantastic position as they rain down shots onto Risen. Risen needs to box himself up, but just look at the pressure that they're applying. The blue SMG just shreds through structures, and then on top of which, you have Cloud continuing to apply pressure with the weapon of his choice there. I believe that was a compact SMG, but they have them tucked away in this corner. This is the last guy, and that is going to be the victory royale. Very clean game from Cloud and Kaizui.
Absolutely, and would you expect any different with 3 Rift to goes? They were able to pretty much secure the highest point, the high ground at any given time. They could play up there for as long as they like. Even if they fell down, they can save themselves. Yeah. And that was a nice textbook victory, and making the checkmate call right there. Hey, it's both of us. We got him right here. Was that a pickaxe to the back of the dome? Nut and Sunny just dropped someone in the back. Yeah, as a duo, go in with double pickaxe, take someone out there. So there's that. Launchpad comes on out, and here, talk about mobility. These guys are also super stacked. 103 points.
Interesting thing to note here as well, Monsters. We're in zone 3 right now. Typically we go in zone 4 and 5, but we're in zone 3.
And we might be in for quite the game.
Look how many players are left. Look.
What? Whoa! Well, I'm like looking and
I was waiting for you to catch it. We're in zone 3. We have all of this open terrain to mess around with. I don't know what's happening in this lobby, but clearly Nut and Sunday, they're going to benefit a lot from this one.
Blame them. 12 eliminations. That's 6 teams if you put it together here. We're in the duo format. That's crazy. Another team falls down to them. Only 8 teams remain.
I knew something was afoot when we jumped into this game, but hey, right, here we are. And just situations you don't necessarily see in the games that we're calling. I know, where's Bala? Bala probably would be losing his mind right now. He's like, even though like we do only have like 15 players or 14 players remaining, Bala would probably be like, we're in the early game.
Yep. And you know they're feeling it when they're just building launch pads just to get to the battle. There goes someone trying to get on the respawn van. Nobody, sorry, you've been spotted by the best team in the lobby probably right now, as they are now battling for this high ground. There's no way you're going to be able to make it out of there. Bye-bye, Frenzy.
That is very unfortunate, and they get another jump pad for that as well. So you're going to have 2 ballers on the side. You have players up above, 13 players left in the lobby, 7 duos.
How much you want to bet that they just rift to go at
Does he nail the shot? I
think they just got it like that at this point.
I mean, if they end up falling in this game, I would be genuinely shocked. This is our number 2 team in the rankings, Zundy and Nut, who admittedly I haven't heard much about. So I am very excited to learn more about this team, and I implore everyone who knows these players, like, hit me up on social media, hit us up, all of us up on social media. Let us know who these players are, where they come from, their streams, all that stuff, because I think this is the best part about the Fortnite World Cup in the open format. We learn and discover so many new players on a regular basis, and just look at the way that they push with Reckless Abandon. They don't really care. They're just going to go for it because they know that no one in this lobby is as good as they are.
And that's why if you believe in your heart of hearts, you are a competitor. Take a stab at it. Get it into these lobbies. You can be the next up as stream mode gets absolutely demolished here. But now it's Nut and Zundy who are getting pressured here. Is he going to rift to go out? Is he going to back up to his teammate?
He's got to pop that the potion there. He's got to use the slurp. Yeah.
Yeah, he was lucky enough for him. The pressure does kind of slow down here. High Definition was the player who was raining down some rocket launcher fire here. It's Zundy and Nut. They're split up. But, you know, we have the slurp effect and the campfire going on here. So he is going to be just fine as he bounces back into this game in a short moment. He's also holding all of the mobility right now. So he's a key factor in this duo right now. He cannot go down.
Boy, oh boy, what a lobby this has turned out to be. And Nut was in quite the pickle, to be a reference food, for a little while there, and was able to stay in this game. It's also, there you go. So they're going to use that rift to go, and they're just going to go all the way up and wait this one out at that ultimate high ground right by the zone. They know that they are good to go up here. This has just been, it's a slower game, right? It is a slower game, but it allows you that opportunity to be able to talk about, you know, what these players are doing. And to be fair, you know, you're going to see a lot of these players dealing with stuff like this in their own lobbies. And oh, what a shot there. Really just turned around and tried to tag that wall as quickly as possible to give that rocket the space to be able to get in. But it's going to be nothing, just dives right in there. Kibbs was taken back to the lobby. And he's out of the game. Nut just goes in for the challenge, does not care.
Yeah, he was super confident, and he was setting out for that push no matter what. In that case, he even went as far as hitting the snipe no scope attempt. Didn't quite connect. There's a big battle going off on the side of the mountain here, as Nut and Zundy are now looking to canvas the other side, right, and push these players down as well. This duo is in the best spot. They're actually giving up the mountain here. This is how aggressive they are. In comes the reload on the heavy snipe. Is he gonna box dive 2 players? Doesn't matter. He tries to connect with the RPG. In the box he goes. Yikes gaming. That's a yikes for you, buddy, because you just got owned by the rocket play and into the building.
They don't care. They don't care. They're just going in for all of it. There's going to be another player in front of him as well. And Nut and Zundy, this is Ballistic, who we saw with the back against the storm there. And Ballistic won't. He can't do anything. He can't do anything.
He backflipped from the 220 to the face.
He ain't going to do nothing.
Cannot do anything.
This has been ridiculous. Nut and Zundy are owning this lobby. Players are exposed out, and they're making them pay. This is the kind of stuff that you just want to see if you're these 2 players, because this is just points. These are points, baby. That's all you want at this, right? You just want the points. You just want to try and get to the big matches tomorrow. And so far, they're a scary team.
Single-handedly shredded apart both of these players' shield and then pushed in by himself. High Definition from the low ground peak. TXG team comes in super hard.
It wasn't graceful. It wasn't, anything intense like we've seen in other late games. It was just.
It was pub. It was just like.
It was just a stomp. It was a stomp. That's what it was, and they did that so unbelievably well. We're gonna have to keep an eye on them. But there's the vault. Look at that. Where all the players made a decision that will affect all of us for the rest of our lives. The drum gun. They chose it.
The effect. The ripples already begun.
Can you believe how many people went for the drum as well? I think that was the crazier part.
Yeah, you know, I'll be honest. I'm completely shocked the way it all just kind of unfolded. Like,
it was like
you would
not
think,
even a question.
I was gonna say you'd think it'd be like closer, but all the screenshots, and I mean all of the screenshots I've seen on social media, like were the same thing. It was just like
everyone getting the drum gun.
The only way I can explain it is just a landslide. Complete landslide.
It's crazy, but we'll see. I'm sure the effects of that will be felt later on. But this weekend, drum gun not in play. But what is being felt are the changes to the map, such as Tilted and Retail going bye-bye. Well, Retail still has the residential side there. And then you got Niddle and Posick, who have been performing quite admirably in their games thus far. They're going to have 74 points total, or 74 points for Niddle. Well, actually, total. And, yeah, not bad.
It's pretty good. I mean, and even with this loadout now, they're completely maxed out. Things are looking up for them this game. We'll have to check back in with them in just a bit. There's all kinds of stuff.
I saw that one rotation just.
Yeah, I thought
one guy.
For a second I thought we were jumping to that play. I was like, ooh, what's going on over here?
Yeah, he was getting peppered with shots all over the place.
Honestly, this is another like small lobby, no?
This is small in comparison to what we typically would see at this point, right? Around like Circle 5, you'll see like 40 players left in this game. I just saw as well Innocence get eliminated, and yeah, so Tilt is going to be in this game as well. We got Dopey in here, who did down Innocence earlier on. Then Niddle and Posick, a name that we've seen a lot in competitive Fortnite, using that grenade launcher to just continue to put that aggression onto these players here. And they're doing damage. They're doing that damage, and I just don't think that Trumpet and his teammate are going to be able to get out of this one. No, Trumpet's going to go down, and his buddy's like, yeah, I don't want to really deal with that. But the stinkers, oh, man, the odor makes you run away. That is unfortunate. Niddle's going to pick up that elimination.
Yeah, we saw it earlier, too, how I believe it was Sap. He puts pressure down with the rocket, and once teams see explode damage come out, they all convert onto that elim. So even 5Jets was jumping into that one just for a little bit there. So that's going to be a quick one for them. Posick replenishing up on some explodes here. Doesn't quite get too many. Those are his last 2 shots. Now swaps over to the heavy sniper. Probably the better item to have in this point now, as things are going to start getting congested.
Yeah, you're going to want that heavy sniper to just bust right through the walls, right? It is a very aggressive tool, and players have taken advantage of it quite a bit. Niddle needs to be careful here.
Mistakes were made. Yeah. He went back for some loot here. Doesn't realize the speed of the zone there is going to cost him 80 effective HP.
And now needs to use the slurp unless he can pick up an elimination or 2.
Yeah, and lucky for him, though, Posick did manage to just launch way ahead of him, so they do have prime real estate here. And then there it is. He's going to elevate himself just a little bit. The bush is going to save that player just a little bit as well.
Who knew a bush was so strong?
He manages to soak up some of the damage there. Oh, boy. Flow Plus gets owned with 272 headshots from that legendary AR right there, Golden.
Niddle needs to be careful, man, because the 20 HP, I mean, you can get sneezed on by the storm, and then that's a wrap. So it's got to be very mindful of this. But Niddle does pick up 2 eliminations. So those are the 2 eliminations that Niddle needed to get that health back on track. Does not need to use the slurp there. I think both of these players, they knew that they were going to be able to secure those eliminations, hence why they did not opt to utilize that very precious resource with that slurp juice. And they continue to tarp up above here, own as much as they can of the high ground and prevent any kind of movement. But just as I say that, it's actually going to be a player nestled inside of a tower of themselves here. But Posick gets above them, as well as players are going to be building around them and just continuing to apply this pressure. You got Colin Frags here in the back, very, very weak. And Niddle and Posick are in such an exquisite spot. But there's Reverse 2K. Remember, we've seen Reverse 2K pop off in the past alongside Ninja. Maybe this is going to be the game that we could see them pick up a victory royale. But he's going to be in the ultimate low ground, and this is not looking good for Reverse. He's got to continue to protect himself, Monster.
Yeah, that's right. He's in a tight situation here. He doesn't have a teammate to back him up. He's going to find a big elimination on Colin Frags right there. That's going to put him in a nice situation, but in comes the pressure. It's the duo from above here. What is Reverse going to do, as he is getting all of the smoke right now in this lobby? He needs to get out. There it is. Good movement here. This is what you want to do when you're getting pressured. You want to maneuver around left and right. And it's up to them to kind of work together, really, to dismantle this duo here, because if they don't dive as a solo team, it's not going to come together. So battle's going on. Here it is. Reverse has to put that pressure up above.
That was a really smart play by Reverse, right? Instead of going for the high ground, went low, knew that those players are going to be preoccupied up above them, and that's Niddle and Posick still continuing to look for to go. Masterus as well, but he's going to be very low on HP. And they all go up, and it's going to be a race to see who can get down first. And Niddle gets on top of it. Posick right in front of him. He takes out Masterus. That's going to be Reverse by himself, the last man standing, and it's going to be the elimination for Niddle. That's 2 elims for him, 5 for Posick, 7 total, as well as the victory royale.
So
that was a crazy last second there, man. All those players getting caught in the rift, and it was just a race down to the bottom.
For a second there, you saw Reverse and Masterus just decide, like, you know what? We're solos. We need to take out this team. And for just a split moment, that unspoken agreement to recognize who's the real threat and danger. It's the duo that's working together. So almost kind of all connected there, but in the end, the duo kind of pulls out together.
The numbers game worked out too strong for them. But now we got Ivy, Exus here, and Hydra.
Rolling.
And I just want to say they need to be careful. We've seen players take advantage of the boom bow, and while it is strong, bear in mind, at this point in the game, if you're not picking up as much of the shoddy ammo as you can, you're gonna hurt in that late game, because we saw that earlier with the launch, or not the launch, but the start of the day.
Yeah.
How players were just completely out of ammo because of the boom bow.
It burns your resources, and it's because it's such a long-range effective tool, right? So you're burning, or you're dropping players from so deep, you're not able to get those spoils.
That's the first time we had a weapon like the boom bow in the game where it utilized shotgun ammo, but was a long-range weapon. It's just not something that we'd seen before. Pacifist, by the way, as well as his teammate, known as JT. I'm glad he cleared that up for us.
That's what he's known as.
That's what he's known as, and I'm glad we know this now. I feel like we're smarter for it.
Not TJ, not TJ.
Not TJ, JT. They did manage to pick up an elimination. There are some players that are going to be up above, though. SVG, that duo, Be Yourself, and Pepe Police, as well as Exus and Hydra. They're going to be right below them here, but the ultimate high ground goes to SVG for the time being.
And this is the best positioning to be at, obviously, on the map right now. They are limited in the medium ammo compartment, but with how much players remain in this lobby, this is not going to be too bad for them. So looks like they're taking a nice little peek over at the drop here, and they're looking for anyone who's going to be, exposing themselves first, right? So with the limited resource, with the limited mediums, they can't take the long-range engagements. And notice how Be Yourself is looking for an engagement closer to him, right? And this is why he's going to burn these 300 lights and put pressure down on players super nearby.
And resetting there for the moment. We're going to get that storm movement here in just a sec.
And they have favor, too, on the zone.
They do. They do. They're going to get players that are looking to go on the launch pads, right? It's just, again, they cannot be too, free-spirited with their medium ammo, or else they're going to pay dearly for that later on. And as this game goes on, though, I don't think the ammo is really going to come into that much of a factor if if we all get down to that low ground scramble like we always see end up happening. But right now, as SVG does have that high ground, and they're going to have to use their jump pad here eventually, which they do manage to do. I was a little worried there for a moment. I saw that ramp go down. I was like, what? I don't understand. But wait, the dive bomb.
The points.
Oh, that is just very smart play there. Taking out Vicious, Lumber, Be Yourself, very well executed. Jumped right on top of the structure rather than going where Vicious Lumber was positioned. You get there quicker, and they were none the wiser. They had no idea what was going on.
That's what happens when you're so close to the storm. It's hard to keep track of audio as things are kind of going on. JT is so low on health here. He's going toe-to-toe with Pepe Please. Pepe Please wins the engagement. Be Yourself is trying to follow up, though. Can he catch revenge? As IVX's is now pressuring from down up top to the players down below. He's got really good resources and a rift as well.
Yeah, they have a lot of things to work with here. Player's going to dive right in. That's white damage. He tries to just reverse the stairs on him. But they do manage to set that player actually disengages and goes down. You find a few down low there. Nice shot from Hydra. The boom bow connection. That's going to be Pepe Please by himself. SVG, the duo, looking to stay in this game, and Pepe able to get off that potion in time. Is it going to be enough, though? There's a lot of protection that's going to be surrounding, so goes right back up to 100 shields. This is the best possible situation for Pepe as far as the health is concerned.
Oh boy.
But look at the boom bows. Oh, and that shield is gone, and that is the game. Exus and Hydra from the high ground own it. GG. But for now, let's send it over to Zeke and Sundown over at the studio.
My, oh my. Boom bows coming out. My quickly becoming favorite weapon. Heavy sniper. You still hold my heart for the moment. But now we are joined by Sundown, who's got some plays to break down.
Definitely have some plays to break down, but also I just want to say, be yourself. Take your own advice. Vivid 72 hours. You don't need to change your name every week. We know who you are. Pepe hands, please. Maybe if you just be yourself, you would have clutched that 1v2 out. But let's take a look at some of the highlight plays we've seen so far. So TX TXG, Zundi, and Nut, the players from Team X Gaming, running through this like it is a pub lobby. And now the reasoning for this and why this lobby wasn't as dense when you get down towards the end, because now queue times have closed. We are past that 7 p.m. Eastern time. Players are looking to just try and maximize their points, get some games out of their way, maybe look more for elims rather than playing for late. But what that enables Zundi and Nut to do is just continue challenging. And hey, if other players are looking for a fight, well, they have no problem. They will take it to you over and over and over again. But don't forget, as it's been said before, it's not typical to see these type of elim heavy performances carry over into top of leaderboard tomorrow. It's going to take 53 points out of NA East to even play. So you're not going to see as many of these early and kind of lighter sided lobbies where the players who are in that top 0.001% are going to be able to just continuously challenge through and honestly make some of these players look like it's their first time playing Fortnite. Because that's what Zundi and Nut are doing in this circumstance, challenging over and over again. Now, I want to give shout outs here. Reverse, picking up a great down and then disengaging right away with the shadow, knowing he's going to pick up that elim, so getting himself over, and this lets him stay in the match. It gives him a chance to find another engagement to get through. Unfortunately, wasn't able to clutch up that 1v2. The clutch factor came from Niddle, the player who has grown up through these cups, has absolutely blown up, qualified for solos last week. Now, him and Posick are doing everything they can to try and qualify as many of the eliminations from the high ground, challenging over and over again, flick shots, and then building himself in, making sure he's covered. And on this reset lobby here, when everyone was thrown up in the sky, they were able to work together, secure the one onto Mistoris, and then close it out right there onto Reverse. Brilliantly played from Niddle and Posick. Definitely a duo to keep your eyes on, because we've seen them do it on both Saturday and Sunday. But really the story is, can Zundi and Nut keep that up and keep up that slaying level of performance? Because we haven't yet see a team carry over that into Sunday when it's against the best of the best, particularly in EU and NA East. Those standings, they change a lot.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see. Tomorrow is going to be a big day for them. But for now, guys, we're going to send it back over to Monster D-Face and Golden Boy to get us into these next few games. Now, keep in mind, the queue times are done. That's it. So these are the last few games before we finalize the standings, and we see who will be joining us on to tomorrow. So, gentlemen, back over to you.
Muchas gracias.
De nada.
Mi compadre.
Like
Thank you, Zeke. All right, here we go. Back in the game. We got Space Lion, which, by the way, one of the best names in the game. Just throwing it out there, because when I think of like if I go back in time and I'm like, hey, I need to make a new name, right? Because Monster sounds like a great name, right? But Golden Boy, right? You know, not the best. You know, I could have made better decisions. By the way, Space Lion here, living his best Space Lion life, flipping through everything, dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodging.
I was just going to say, like, I don't think we've seen any player use a Shadow Bomb on a hunt like this to get positioning over players. And it's Space Line's going against two. Makes a quick edit. He still has it in him. Space, one of my friends from the early days. We're talking pre-Step 1 scrim days back when squads were a thing. And Space Line has been around for a long time. He still got it. I like that. Do more, brother. Come back.
Hear him roar. Okay. So now, Zeke is right. We say the joke, we think it's hilarious, but in the end, it actually isn't really all that great. So.
And you know what? I'm here to take that fall with you, though.
Thank you so much, buddy. That's why we're a duo. I really appreciate it.
That's why it works. But now looking at Lavish here, who's at the nice 68-point threshold. So far, so good. He and Find SX are looking to find some players here. Can they get on the hunt?
Or whether it's FNDSX1 or Fins.
You know, this is good brand lesson right here. The name.
This is it.
Kind of tough.
Yes. See, I'm talking about like how dumb my name is, right? Golden Boy. But that person literally just has something that is not.
Fiends.
It could be fiends. It could be fiends. I'm not trying to trash on you, brother, because I want you to succeed. That's probably the one thing I want more than anything else.
That's right.
I just want you to do big things.
Because you got skill, you're pushing through, you got confidence. You got it. You got it right here. Fine. Fiends.
But see, Rob Knight's a brandable name. That's all I'm throwing out there. Right? Unfortunately, it ain't brandable that he's back in the lobby, but you know, it ain't that bad. Well, Lavish GT though. And this is going to be another pick here, potentially, yes, against Zerg, who goes down trying to build out of that one, but Lavish was all over him. And this squad is, or this duo, I should say, is doing very, very well thus far. Look at Blank. Blank is so weak above him.
Blank tried to macho up for the high ground. I don't think he's going to get out of there successfully. But now taking a look at Parallax. We talk about OGs on the scene. Parallax, another player who's been on the scene for quite some time, looking to dismantle this entire build. It's actually not held up on much more anymore. Oh, so there's something in the background probably connecting this. Is it just the one rep? Is it the one rep?
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Boy, down comes the Jenga tower. He got
I
don't know how many. Three.
No, he got two. He got two. Wait, no.
It's still ringing.
My word, it's all over the feed because it's only showing us 3 at a time. What?
Hello, 7 elimination, 4 Parallax, and out comes the Shadow Bombs. He is cutting across the field here. Parallax in space, doing it up right now.
Yo!
Have a seat, Golden. This is not over yet.
Yo!
It's not over yet.
Yo, that's that stuff that like you wish you get in the day one of Fortnite. You know, you just download the game. You're like, oh man, I totally want to destroy some builds.
Nostalgic, right? It's a nostalgic Elim right there.
Yo, put
getting
that on
fall
YouTube.
damage.
That was nasty. Oh boy. All right. Well. Here we go. Kiwi Face actually is going to get picked off and will be out of the game. Creo, or not out of the game quite yet. He'll be down. Izzy, yes, he is finally going to be out of this. So it's going to be up to Creo.
Look at Parallax. He's using the shadow bombs again just to get in position.
Parallax is
He's looking to drop another build, by the way.
This guy's a
He's
stab.
all over it. He's all over it.
He's got a problem. I'm just throwing it out there. Well, now.
He wants you to be down in the low ground.
Yeah,
right?
he wants a low ground warrior gameplay. Keep it old school, baby. That's what he wants. There's Spaceline and Parallax's duo. That was 7 eliminations. I think 5 elims he picked off of that. 5 or 6 elims he picked off of that. Crazy stuff there. Spaceline going to use that jump pad, but Parallax is going to go down, and that is very unfortunate because Spaceline does not have the HP. He's going to go inside of the box here. Does regroup, manage to get outside of this, and drops the level down because he does not have the H1 clean shot with that pump, and it is a wrap. But he's trying to get up top. He does. He gets up top right on Paris. Oh my word! He manages to find himself, and he snags a couple eliminations, looking for another one as well. That player's going to go down. He's knocked out. This is insane. What a play there from Space Lion.
Another launch pad. He hasn't even reloaded yet. Going out.
How many launch pads this guy has?
At least another one in the inventory, according to this interface right here. Down he goes, and there it is. Pulls it out.
There's too many launch pads, Monster. There's too many launch pads in the game, darn it. Space Lion, though. Oh, man.
Can't believe it. Saw Parallax pop off.
Drop down.
Now Space popping off for himself. Creo manage to.
Okay,
oh, no. Okay.
Oh, okay.
There it is. 1 HP. Spaceline still in it. He's still in it. There's hope.
Never mind.
Not anymore.
That was a good run, Space Lion. Nothing but respect for you, my friend. But Creo with the Splodes is also going to have that smoke bomb too, which is going to shoot the Splodes and force those players to go down. Now Creo owns the high ground, and I think Keto trying to get up top, trying to get right in his face here, but Creo finds him, and that is going to be the down onto Credo, who manages to get that siphon from that as well, which couldn't come at a better time because he ended up taking that fall damage. And look at the way the Creo is just looking around the map. So paranoid. And we have a good old-fashioned free-for-all here, Monster. All these players solo in this matchup looking to just win it for their duos. The Splodes goes down. Gilly's going to be out.
Split up.
How many eliminate? I don't know if that was a spectator issue, but
at least we get to see all Space's launch pads.
All of his
just
launch
littered all over the map.
He had to have every launch pad on the server.
I think
hands down.
Must have had a vending machine rotation for sure. Something happened there. Into the next game now.
And look where we are, by the way. We are in New Tilted, which
Charcoal Towers.
Charcoal Towers. Yes. It doesn't have the you know, it doesn't have the what do they call that? Oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank on it.
Oh,
Where's
like the
production
C
to help
and
me out?
C and the T.
Like
and
Peter
the T.
Parker,
right,
you know,
right.
like that. But we'll get to that later.
Torch towers.
Torch towers. There you go. Torch towers. I like
Come
that.
up with
I like
these
that.
all day.
Okay. I'm sure that's what the people want for us to do, Monster. But this event that happened, nuking Tilted Towers, is crazy. What a shot there.
Smoke ate the big boom shot to the forehead. Gets taken out by LYE Jax. That was clean. He jumped out the baller. Didn't have any health.
That was insane stuff there. Good job. We've seen so many great Boombo plays.
You know, honestly, and Sundown said it right. Now you notice all the lobbies, these guys are using their last games in the final moments right now. They're trying to get as many games as possible. That's why there's not as many players in the lobbies, but you see the aggression is at an all-time high from some of these players. They're trying to get through it.
Yeah, rack up as many points as you possibly can. We got a couple of players still standing here at the end of the queue time. Just a reminder, NA East queue time is done. Coming up next will be NA West. So we head on over to the West Coast to see who are the players that will move on. To tomorrow's games, and Hornet dropping some resources for his teammate, it seems like, just trying to balance things out. And gets Austin. Austin completely caught off guard there. There's a player right behind that wall too. Ends up dropping back. So Austin's by himself, and teammate nowhere to be found, will be down and more than likely out, courtesy of Vlad, who does get him on the cleanup. You have Cold and Valid here. I said Vlad. Valid. Vlad.
Vlad.
Trying to be all fancy with it.
I like it.
But they are going to be right. So they backs against the storm here. This is a very scary rotation, Monster. Got to be careful.
But he could have ripped, could have, you know, floated away there with the redeploy. But they're going for the ground rotation, looking to connect up to this next build nearby. As now they are hugging up on this, probably looking for a launch pad or something here. But with this natural elevation, they can still always choose to hop off and just float away scot-free. So this layer to the bottom, though, is to themselves. They're good so far.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that rotation at these later rounds, these later games, because you're just trying to snag as many points as possible.
Yeah.
And what better way to do so than by hanging back against the storm and finding players on rotations where they're more than likely going to be exposed. You're trying to get as many points as possible. They have 8 points presently, and or currently, I should say, and I'm sure that they would like to make that 10, 12, you know, however much they could possibly snag. Look at the ultimate high ground. You got Hornet and Lijax are going to be up above. Atmos Strix getting pressured as well. Has to drop down, but there's going to be a duo right underneath him as we jump back over to the perspectives of Cold and Valid.
Yeah, there it is. Uses the heavy snipe to break the build up above. Shotgun connects back to back. Velo goes down. Killer Kid 2020 also gets his sight taken out from him as Cutie Cold is on 8 eliminations right now.
Yeah, it is just slaying in this lobby. It's been very impressive. Destroys that baller, too. Don't want to have to deal with any of those pesky ballers that will be rotating about or circling about and not have the time of their life. But gonna have Cold.
Chipping away, chipping away every moment that he can. He's right behind his player. Is he gonna connect? As things come back, he actually gets the teammate. Forgets that knock, goes for another completely different player. That's another one. Can he finish this with 12 eliminations? He needs one more. There's still a player in the zone.
The Siphon came in.
That's a Siphon. It caught back up.
Oh, the Siphon kicked in, but he wasn't able to stay alive. Digitar will cap him there as he did his absolute best, but snagged some critical eliminations that you'd want in the later game. You also saw that smoke bomb be used, too. That player tried to go up and take that high ground there. Very interesting stuff. We talk about the smoke bombs, you know, I guess, impact on this game and what it could have. You always want to be mindful. players like that trying to overtake that high ground. Digita, who had a big elimination earlier on, is going to be out of the game. We only have one player left remaining here, and the duo, the numbers advantage for Lijax and a Hornet. They're looking for him. He's going to be in that smoke bomb, gets right above them, but Hornet, he actually goes low again, so he's all over the place here. Hornet's just looking for him. They're trying to see, and they manage to snag him. That's Liquid 30. Goodbye. Victory Royale. That is 8 eliminations for this duo. But what an end to that game. What a crazy series of events.
That was intense. We haven't seen an elimination chain like that since the Mongrel clip from about last week. So
yeah.
That was a nice one to catch right there.
Mm-hmm. Well, now we're going to be going into another game here in just a little bit. Some more matches. Just a reminder, the queue times are done for the qualifiers for the NA East side of the Fortnite World Cup Open qualifier. These players playing for a spot in tomorrow's placement games, where if you place in the top, what is it, 4, right? I believe in the top 4. Or top 3.
Top three for NA East.
Top 3 for NA East. You will be going to New York City to play in the Fortnite World Cup Final. And we got Tilt and Masterus, who have had quite the day so far. This is the kind of day that they want to have tomorrow.
Yeah, they've been all over the scene today, definitely showcasing. But don't forget, these lobbies are a little bit lighter, right? As you get to tomorrow, you're really going to trim down the fat in the player pool and the player side. So all these kind of like mash fests we've been seeing don't quite happen as often. That's some good. Oh, they actually didn't quite get the fall damage.
No, they
all
had
the players had redeploy.
Yeah, they had the redeploys there, but it was a good read though, right? To just recognize like this is being held up by a twig. We can knock this thing down and potentially pick up some eliminations from it. Oh, you hate to see it. The community launch pad will actually hurt Tilt quite a bit. Needs to pick up an elimination right in front of him. Tags a player for a little bit of damage there. His teammate Masterus is going to be right ahead of him. He wants to get to his teammate to try and work together. They've done a really good job of that so many times. And there you see it. Even though they're separated from one another, brilliant job to just stick together when it comes to the team shots. But Tilt ends up getting knocked down. Oh no! And he ends up getting knocked down and meets the harvesting tool of, I believe that is Hyper NM. Or hyphen, excuse me, hyphen M. I can't see because words are hard, but Masterus is going to be very low on, or I was going to say low on HP, but he was ticking on the outside.
Oh, you see that? He used the shadow bomb, couldn't even track him. He just went ghost through the zone, ahead of the zone he's going to get, and now he is out of there. Masterus tried so hard to connect there. He needed that elimination to get the materials, and now he's forced to the bottom layer here. Can he connect? He's going through the storm, deciding to tank up. This is going to be big. This is going to be big here.
He has no builds to work with, and now he's managed to snag a few, but it's not going to be enough here, especially when he's playing this defense like this. Only many left in the inventory
He did pick some up, though, right? So he's back in it, whether he realizes it or not. Hopefully that little moment right there allows him to regroup himself. There's a player right behind him. Can he get the connect here? Turns around, 180. That Wei-K gets owned right there, and now the aggression is back on for Masterus. So he's looking to get this next player here.
Big game here for Masterus to continue to add some more points for him and his duo Tilt. We have a standard free-for-all. All players are going to be solo riding at the end of this game, and Masterus hiding in the box is going to find Nimrod down low and just beams him with that epic pump. Another player is going to be right in front of him, Masterus. He's on the prowl, but he only has 9 builds. Bear that in mind, folks. So he has to be very selective with what he builds, and on top of that, how he's going to try and get up on top here. He needs builds if he wants to take high ground control, but I don't think it's going to work out like that for him. And you only have 3 players left alive. As far as the life lead goes, he has that life lead, but Masterus does not know that. And due to that, he's going to need to play smart here. Reckless Kid is going to be up above him and certainly will not be playing Reckless if he wants to win this game out. And it is going to be all about the health. And we don't even know if these players have campfires, be able to stay alive. There's a lot of questions here. And Masterus needs to be careful. He can't get ticked outside of the storm, and he does get ticked, and he's right down low. Drops down this player potentially, and he does not nail it. One build remaining is all he has, gets up to that mid ground and just does not get above that player, and now is going to be trapped right at the side of the hill. Does he find anyone? He's ticking. It's not over yet indeed, Monster. 48 blue onto the player, goes right into the safe zone, but Prosecutor catches him and ends his run. Prosecutor looking to get around here. But this has just been a very slow game. These players playing for that victory royale. The campfire has gone down to give him some kind of a moment of respite. No builds at all. And he's going to send that player down there. Can he manage to get the victory royale? No, he won't. He will fall to the storm, and Reckless Kid will win. And that will do it. What an inning there, Monster.
That was a tight one. Honestly, Masterus, respect to him, recognizing that it was going to go uphill at the end there. He went up early, and, you know, he made it to the end there.
That was a rough game there. Low builds for all those players, but that's what it's all about. You got to get scrappy in those times of need. For now, we're going to send it to a guy who knows all about being scrappy. You got Zeke.
In my mind, I thought to myself, please make that joke. Please make that joke. And you did. Thanks for the follow through. GB, really appreciate you guys. That's it. The queues for Brazil and NA East are done. So we have the final standings that we can. Oh my gosh, words are so hard for me today. We're going to get to take a look at together. Why does this always happen to me? Anyway, we'll be hopping into these here in just a moment. Now, keep in mind, Sundown and everyone watching, this is top 1,500 duos moving on to tomorrow.
Yeah, so everyone you see on this list will have advanced. We're going to start it off with the Brazil standing. So don't forget, tomorrow there is no qualifying spot up for grabs, but still their piece of the $1 million prize in a
Fortnite fam, we are back after that incredible event. My goodness, that was insane. The invaulting, it has happened. The drum gun is back in the game. Things have happened. POIs were destroyed. My expectations shattered because it was so incredible. But now we're here because we still have things to do. NA East, NA West. Speaking of all the social things that have happened, you guys took to social media. So let's throw up that on the board right here and see some of the reactions.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people saying that was crazy indeed. Everyone dropping in. I mean, the big one here, we live in a society. This was my one thing. As soon as I dropped in, I myself sprinted straight on over to the bouncer. There were a couple poised playmakers hanging out with me as well, swinging away at that thing, and then I turned over, and it was very similar to that. You had a whole horde of players, so much so that you couldn't even get room at the bottom. Players having to jump up in the air and swing as high as they can to unvault the drum gun. Now, as we stated, not going to be a part of the tournament playlist this weekend, so won't see that in NA East and NA West when we cover it. However, you will see the POI changes. So Tilted is gone. Retail is gone. Completely going to change it up, as you see here now. Everyone's saying rip Tilted, and as some of you may know, I am a huge Tilted fan as well, having practiced a bunch of different drop spots, kind of like been slightly prepared for this, but highly recommend you always have alternative drop spots. And quick little tip as well, it's good to vary up your drop spots based off of the path of the bus. Zeke, it can better your chances of having a undisputed drop and being able to get materials. So nice little tip right there. But again, everyone's saying rip Tilted, where are we landing? Retail going away despite some best efforts, and I mean, the Tilted one really gets to the heart of people. They thought it would be going away way back in the day, Zeke. It stood strong for so long, but also, hey, no sweat insurance. Whoever you guys hired for contractors, let me know, because they're either lucky or incredibly good at their jobs.
It all worked out for no sweat insurance. You like to see it. Now, again, you guys kind of took to social media, sent in your reactions. We want to throw over to this video and take a look together because it was really awesome. So let's take a look. You know,
right now.
Rebuild retail.
Start the rebuilding process.
Kind of hear a little bit.
We protected blacktops. Oh my gosh, Tommy Gun's winning 100%. Tommy Gun's winning
100%, dude.
No.
Oh no. What are you doing?
Oh no.
Everyone's voting the drum gun. We have to. No. You got a melee attack SMG. No.
Oh my God.
No.
What have we done?
Is it going for retail?
No.
No! Oh my God! No! Oh! We couldn't save it! No! Are you kidding me? It's gone, dude! No! No! Retail!
Oh, that one just really sealed the deal, didn't it?
Tilted is officially gone.
Bye, Tilted.
Well, goodbye, Tilted. As you heard in the video before, we still have a tournament to do, so let's go ahead and run through basically refreshing your mind as to what you already know. Format, top 15, top 10, top 5, and Victory Hour are all those placement thresholds, with each elimination being worth 1 point. Don't forget, guys, $1 million on the line every week. We're doing this. You'll like to see it. Now, don't forget, we do have an amount of qualifying spots. That will be 3 up for NA East. We'll be hopping into those games in just a moment. Again, guys, don't forget to also use that hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Let us know how you're enjoying things. What'd you think of the drum gun coming back? What did you think of the event? We obviously love to hear from you guys. Now together we'll take a look at some of the standings currently as we are hopping into these games. Right here, Brazil at the top, Germano, and I'm going to butcher these names, bear with me. And VIT's at Atomic, oh my God, I can't even, Sundown, come back, I need you. He's coming, oh, he's actually coming back. Where are you, Sundown? I'm going to need your help. Sundown, guys, I'm just going to keep going. Laleo there, and Gordon, oh, there he is. There he is. I got help. All right, great.
Sorry about that. I know, Zeke, it's hard to pronounce the words. We have Germano and Atomic, Loud Laleo, and Gordon there in second. Lost it in Woodzilla for Kesar in third. Champ 1 and GG Orion, X, Might 1, and Yamafria. NGU's Gringao and Bruneo, Eco Puko and Zenix. Reedy and Arkinos of RVG, Paul Lobby and Pitter, and then Stellar and Bertier from Deep. Then we got NA East right now, and again, just getting going. You can see over here, games still remaining, but one of the newest signings from FaZe up on top after a brilliant, what's that? That's got to be a 26 Elan Victory Royale for first place there, Zeke. Whew.
You like to see it. You like to see it. The list goes on. Young's Calculator, Ops QT, Energy, Zate, and Ghost Saf together. Nyx's Willow, Zappy, Niddle FN, Posick, Felix, Timber FN. I actually knew how to read. This is all part of a bit. RBK Reloads, RBK JDW, Landjock, Punisher, Birth from COL, Sparks, JB, okay, I just lost it. Hunter, TC, Tom Dez, and Stretch. The list goes on and on,
It's funny,
guys.
for the guy named Zeke Mateus, you really struggle with those Hispanic names.
I struggle reading it all because I never learned. Or math.
Struggle reading, not multiples of 10 with math. It's okay, though. Got each other's backs.
Anyway, though, well, we saw the volcano explode. Quite the explosive start to the show. Did you see it? Did you see what I did? It was the Okay, sorry, they're booing me off stage now.
I don't
Let's
have
just
a
go ahead
hook,
and introduce the
otherwise I'd
casters.
take it with
Casters,
me.
gentlemen, come on out here. I need to go be elsewhere because that joke was so funny.
Yeah, you do.
I am gonna walk off now.
Yeah,
so
keep going.
Yes.
Keep going, buddy.
Professionals are on the stage now. Don't worry.
Wow.
If you're watching at home, myself and Golden Boy, we will protect you from the likes of Zekemus Prime and his attempts. I'm just kidding. I love you.
I am glad, though, that Zeke did manage to make it down, I would say, like around 80% of the list before absolutely falling apart. I wouldn't have done any better, to be completely honest with you. So, hey, we're keeping it 100 for a moment. But I know you guys want to watch some gameplay, so let's jump into it. I don't even know. You didn't even let me finish my hand sign.
People didn't need to see how fast you were spinning your hands there, Golden Boy.
But that was like the power of the game coming back, you know?
The wind coming off of those rotations.
Yes,
we
in
could
two
all
directions.
We could all feel it.
Lots of wind, you know?
Let's jump in here out of the gate. Mastoris and Tilt, FaZe. 4 eliminations, 6 total for this duo. 6 points. Looks like the first game on the list here for these two, sitting up in a little metal box here.
Yeah, some good positioning up above, and they're putting that pressure down on those players that they're going to have to deal with the fact that in a few seconds, you know, that storm, right, they're going to need to move. And they know this, and Tilt and Masterus can take full advantage of this and try and see if they can maybe pick something up. But there you go. So they finally managed to pick up those eliminations. But Lupo, that was just very well done. They knew that they had him, and it kind of gate kept them the entire time.
A tough situation they're in right now, though. If you saw on the minimap, they are on the far edge of the safe zone, and they are getting attacked on the rotation.
The tables have turned.
Jumping down, trying to pick up any of the loot that they can there. A couple little upgrades, and looks like a rift to go in the hand of Tilt now. Like Spaz was gonna say, here we go. Pop it, start the rotation in. A lot of players had built up on top of this plateau, and we are moving all the way to the very edge of the block there. Kind of an intimidating figure in the background. I'm going to watch over as players build up their one-by-ones, their little bases, and start tunneling their way to safety.
You know, if I don't go Fatal Fields, which by the way is the greatest part in the entirety of the map, and it will never go away, I'm going to keep hammering that home.
It's okay to be wrong. Continue.
Okay, because I love Carnage, and I love just going into the insanity of it all. I love dropping a block just to see like what's over there, because you actually come out with a lot of loot out of the block. You know, underrated amount, honestly, because some people don't factor it in. It is a different spot. You never know what you're going to get, but it is a good spot usually to land in there, because you can actually benefit quite a bit.
The speed that these players build up just an additional level and cover every single surface is kind of crazy. I don't know if you saw that. He had a pyramid on both the floor immediately above and all the way up top, as well as some blasters. Gets the laser on Zika's grenade, knocks that open. It's just ascending here, trying to remain kind of top down on everybody during this rotation. They still have quite a ways to go, 15 seconds before it's going to be go time here.
That's right. You see everyone kind of just boxed up, but you know that these players are going to fall as soon as those rotations are going to be necessary, and we're going to go west of the block over here. A nice challenge onto Belty. That's going to give him the 6th elimination now, as well as some resources. They're up to 144. They're going to have plenty, but this is exactly as I was referring to, Lupo. The players now, as they rotate out, they're going to have to deal with Tilt and Masterus, who are just putting that pressure down and racking up eliminations as this goes on. And then they also have that launch pad that they're going to be able to use, get right over to that safe zone.
Easy rotation there. Masterus still sitting on another launch pad. Plus, there's an opportunity for community movement mechanics. You know, if you see a launch pad for somebody else, maybe a rift to go, they can jump in on that still. Right here at the edge of the zone, though. Source taking a shot, seeing Anthony in the rotation there.
Just beamed him with that legendary pump, man. That was disgusting. And now just basically doing the same strategy that we've seen them do a bunch of times here, Lupo, which is just try and catch any of the players that are running back. That is the best possible thing that you could do. Maroons is going to go down, and unfortunately for him, will be eliminated from this game. Tilt picks up yet another elimination. That is going to give them 16 elims total, this duo ripping through this lobby.
For the top 15 duos there, we're at 19 points. Still pushing forward. Kaz goes down. Masterus, you see in the feed, picking up Solely Boy. Another set of elims, 21 points total. Another one, 22 points total. Literally shot after shot.
They're destroying this lobby.
From above. Bozo, another one goes down. Tilt. This is their lobby to win. It looks like with ease at this point. The awareness of the opponents kind of turned down to 0. It seems like. Claps goes down. Gypsy Claps goes down.
Insane stuff here that we're seeing from Tilt and Masterus, Lupo, because what they're doing is they're focusing their fire together, but they're also picking off any of those stragglers. Anyone who's exposed, they're just going for the shot. They're not really caring all that much, but then you're going to start to see them synergize on their shots. Most importantly, when players are going to be above them, they're going to need to communicate so that this way they can tag those players.
A little bit of damage there. You saw 24 shield. Look at the shot right at the top there, and Tilt takes Walnut Boy with the smiley face. Not enough to defend from that elimination. A Baller, I guess, joining them up top. Would not be surprised to see an Elim here taking the shots from above. Masterus cannot close out. 11 players left, 9 duos, which means there's only 2 full duos left in this game. Dropping down. Time to start waterfalling. You don't want to be too high up in case somebody tries to drop the structure you're standing up. Risk of fall damage. Russ goes down. That is actually the other half of the other duo still in this match. Finds the shot. A big pump hit there, but cannot stay up top.
Well, he's going to have Tilt up above him, though, Lupo. Bear that in mind. So they will still, Masterus, wisely enough, this is what I was going to say. It's either you play that mid-game and try and pick off any players that are moving out and rely on Tilt to pick off more and more eliminations, or you just go back to your teammate and coordinate those shots. That's exactly what they're doing. They're putting on a clinic here, man.
The coordination between these two players while watching, literally with height advantage on pretty much everybody, is kind of insane. Even just for a moment there was a player, this is a perfect example. Two different angles, shots literally spraying down the wall, trying to maintain as much DPS on it as possible. The goal being just drill through all the materials of the opponent that you can.
This is insane, and Tilt's going to get into the scuffle now and engage in this fight, as well as Masters, but Tilt disengages right at that moment. He will take some damage from that, so needs to just get back to this one, right? Kind of find himself in a more sustained base. You're going to have Kappa Turson down low, as well as Revert. Revert continuing to just try and hold back Cap, but Revert's not going to be by himself in a 1v2, and this has been Masters and Tilt all over the place. They have dominated this lobby. They know that they have this one basically won, and it's going to be a miracle for him to win it, and it will not happen. Revert does not pick up the eliminations. Tilt, Masters, they copped themselves 26 eliminations, 26 points, 10 points for the Victory Royale. That's 36 points off of one game.
I think it's important to note, too, you will not see this on Sunday. You won't see a high elim game like this on Sunday. The reason being, if you remember, everybody pushes to 300 points in arena, solos to duos, doesn't matter. And then they are allowed to play in these qualifiers on Saturday. So you have a very, very large pool of players. That being said, that's still a quarter of the lobby. 26 is
the coordination that you need to do that is just it's ridiculous. Yeah, it truly is. And we really got to keep an eye on for Masters and Tilt. But here we go now. We're going to go back into another game. We got Crinogenic and Luis Castaneda. There you go. I will own that one. Castaneda. You got to say it. There's no Enye there, but it's and a hot dogs out of this one. So
that's very sad. I like hot dogs.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of hot dogs too. Chili dogs. So good, so good.
We just ate lunch, and you're making me hungry again.
I'm sorry about that.
For a second there, I don't know if you caught that. Luis Castaneda, as he was rotating across, I believe he had just used a shadow bomb. This will be the first time that we'll have seen shadow bombs used in competitive Fortnite. They're just introduced not long ago. So I actually, there's a couple of interesting strategies with those. If you use one and you just spam jump up against a wall, maybe an opponent has a structure built up or you're next to a mountain, something like that, you can keep it going as long as you are able to still jump and press up against a wall again. So you can have players that are potentially waiting for like the last second to show themselves. You could have people sit on those until very late, very, very late in the game, which could create some pretty interesting late game scenarios depending on the positioning of the storm.
Yeah, Fortnite in every evolving game, as evidence of the event that even happened today, where now we got just no tilted towers, no retail row.
Half retail.
Half retail row. That's fair.
The homes are fine. The businesses, not so much.
Yeah, go for the corporation. I don't know. I really didn't have much there, but at least the people are safe. Because that actually would have been very messed up. Because Tilted obviously is a lot of corporations and stuff. Office buildings and whatnot. Whereas Retail Row did have some residences, so I'm glad that the people are still alive, even though they're never in their homes. Someone should look into that.
Calculator and Ops sitting on 14 points, but Ops for a second there got beamed down to what looked like 5 HP or less. Very risky situation. Able to back down out of that structure in the last second.
Okay, that was I was going to say, this is a really, really risky, but also the way that young Calculator played this one, you could tell that he had thought about all the outcomes. Dare I say, calculated gameplay. You knew it was going to come. I saw you looked at me. You knew that it was going to happen. But that was risky because he ended up landing right next to an opponent second, and it could have gone south really quickly.
The launch pad here. The ballers climbing to the wall. Ops and Calculator trying to find the optimal height they can land at, and right here they're going to build all the way up top.
He's definitely going to have to do the math there,
Calculator took quite a big hit there. Down to 36 HP. I'm trying to keep composure and finds an elim through the window there. That quick little edit. The trap goes down. Damage to the player underneath. Insanity eliminated. Young Calculator taking the 10 damage ticks. He's going to have to push into the zone as fast as possible. Potentially, at this point, a tough situation for Calculator. Still in it. Ops all the way up top. Takes Royal out. Has the high ground. A top down on his teammate. Starts the descent, and these two players holding the top of the map now.
Well, and I also think this is very interesting to point out that how far apart they are from one another, right? I mean, Young Calculator was down low dealing with his own issues, but then you had Ops go all the way up to the ultimate high ground to just try and delete that player that was going to be up there, and they managed to successfully do so. But one has to wonder, like, that is not something that I would personally like to see from these players, because you want to stick with your duo. You don't want to separate from one another. And this is not also the kind of glide that you would want in that moment in time. And look at this. Here's actually going to tag. That was such a great play there on Folio. That was nasty. Ops QT. This guy clearly is just in another level. He's thinking about things and approaches to fights that I simply just would not have factored in. I tell you, this guy, very good gameplay from him.
Ops and push up top, gets elimination, finds another duo right on top of him. Jimmy and Golf. Jimmy using that flint knock, climbing all the way up. Get the high ground, looking down from above. Here we go. A shadow bomb utilized. Jimmy rotating the outside, takes a little bit of damage on the way down. He's now all the way on the low ground. Golf is gone. 4 players left, 3 teams total, and Ops and Young Calculator, the only full duo remaining. Rocket from above. Young Calculator has the top down. Ops drops in, same floor as Scrappy. He's looking for a little bit of a shot here. There's still applying pressure. Jimmy was all the way in the bottom, trying to layer and save himself, and sneaks one in on the outside. Ops, Calculator, 2v1 situation. Scrappy cranking 90s all the way into sky. He's got to double layer this floor and try and build all the way back up the mountain. They are rotating east across the ridge, and Scrappy has the height advantage with the Rockets trying to knock him down, saying, no, 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 you don't get to outbuild me at this point. Ops and Calculator building their way up. Calculator using the shadow bomb, trying to make his way up. It looks like he's getting caught a little bit on the build on the outside, finds a little reserve of material at the bottom there, but Scrappy still has the top down. Maybe the best position he could be in at this point, but Ops and Calculator, I guarantee you the ascent will start soon. There is a shadow bomb in somebody's inventory. This would be it. Scrappy takes a big hit from a rocket from underneath there.
That hurts.
He has to layer up. The ascent from Ops, rotating into the storm, and picks up the victory royale.
2v1 advantage. The numbers didn't lie.
Production, what are we allowing this right now?
I think it was good. I think it was a good one. I'm personally I can just see your face at that moment. But that was had the kit been a little bit different for Scrappy there, had he maybe had explodes of his own, that could have changed a little bit of that fight there, right? Because it went from them having that ultimate high ground, but you could tell your boy was in creative, cranking those 90s, man.
As hard as good.
As hard as he possibly can.
Starting over here at retail. These games back to back to back. You have to realize we're jumping in towards the end. Basically, the most aggressive portion of competitive Fortnite starts around Circle 5, which is typically where you get the half and half. You see in the mini-map down there, you have half of the next safe zone is in the zone already. So you're going to have players that are in there sitting pretty, but you're going to have also teams like this, like Gabe and Pokes from the outside, are going to have to rotate their way in here at retail. Part of retail, remembering Blacktop's the industry side of Retail Row. Very sad to see, but got hit by the volcano. Majority of those shops.
And you have to think, too, for those people when they want to do grocery shopping, where do they go now?
They'd probably get them imported or something. I'm not sure of the economic situation in Fortnite.
Just jobs.
Being an opportunity. What a setup. Juju failed to cover the right side as they were building up, and they actually got themselves trapped underneath their own ramp. So it was one of those like, oh, I got trapped. I'm fine. Just kidding. Gabe shows up out of nowhere, puts the wall down, takes the trap, wins that little 1v1, beaming. Those players, they drop
very, very calm approach there from Gabe as well, right? Like, you could just tell Gabe had that thing mapped out, knew exactly what he wanted to do, executed it to a T. And here we're taking a look now over Retail Row. Lots of players still going to be left standing here in this lobby. We have 27 players remaining, 17 duos left.
Well, if you notice that the far east side, by the way, Albino, rest in peace. The far east side of the safe zone, there's a crate that dropped. They're right down there. Gabe's looking down at it for just a second. Somebody did pick up something there. Could be a rocket launcher, which means we might see a little bit of explosive action. And Gabe, look at the snipe. The window was open, not quite accurate enough. Gabe misses the shot, goes for a follow-up.
Oh, what a shot.
In the open, pays the price. Pressure from Pokes' teammate down there, trying to make sure that if there's a chance to get the to secure that elim, they can find it.
They got to do it. They have to go after it. But I think that player was able to pick up his buddy at that moment in time. So Pokes and Gabe got to rotate as soon as they possibly can. You're also going to have some ballers down low. But here we go. The Storm now going to continue to move. I really want to know what those players were able to pick up from that crate, if it'll even factor into this game. And then you also have some players starting to tunnel or pre-tunnel their way out, right? So guys like Mad Attack that actually have a launch pad that they will be able to use as soon as they need it. And that was actually, again, right, just players preparing for those moments and preparing for this end game. It's so imperative to have this kind of preparation, right? Especially as a duo, because you got to be able to talk to one another and plan out what this attack is going to be. But now we got Gabe once again on your screen. Did find a player right next to him, and also one's going to be above him, and he's not even aware of his surroundings. Man, doing the Skull Trooper skin, no justice there. Ends up getting the L for that one, and Gabe is just going to continue to follow through with some more pressure and more eliminations. And there you can see what it's all about, what these players are playing for, the points. You get that 11 through 15, 3 points. Get 2 more points, 6 through 10. 2 through 5 get you an additional 2, and then 3 points for the Victory Royale. And Pokes, well, they're trying to just get that Victory Royale because the game that they're building up right now, 18 points. And if they win, they can come out with a 28-point game if it keeps going like this. Crazy stuff here.
Absolutely insane. Like you said, 18 elims at this point is kind of nuts. Plus the top down there, a little bit of campfire heal, quick. Guns and Odyssey right below. Karma Solar Ball all the way down to the bottom. Guns takes a big hit there, down to probably 22 HP. Coincidental as the Guns 22. Get 13 elims, 18 total.
The ultimate high ground, Lupo, once again in their control. They're going to continue to gain health from these campfires, and they're just going to put the pressure on the ballers.
I was waiting for that. At this point, this late in the game, if there's not enough players exposed, you're going to see, especially all the way up top, and Gabe and Pokes have a top down on the entire map. Why not shoot the ballers out? Because then you force engagements for those players. If they're sitting inside till the very end, there's literally no threat. So you see right here, force them out. Force them into a fight with other players down there. Even if you don't get the elim, there's still a chance that kicks you up higher in placement, which, I mean, that in itself is points too. Shots from above, land player goes down. Gabe picking up another elim, up to 14 down. There is someone right underneath. Can't quite sneak their way into a shot there. Gabe trying to tag from the back.
That was a clever chase there as well, Lupo. I don't know if you noticed there, but, you know, recognize, like, hey, can I get this pick? I can't. Okay, let me just disengage, reposition so that I can get back into the action. Finds a player in front of him. That was Sparkles who goes down. Another one as well, and just has to take ownership of the wall. Manages to get the wall replaced and will get control of it and finds that player as he comes out. That's going to leave it with just four duos remaining. And you see 2 of them up in the sky. They just have to pick them off, swat them like flies if possible. Players actually going in for the challenge, dropping the poison traps as well, Lupo. That is a really smart play. Monkey, no, sir. You will not be able to stand in this game. And it's going to be Ruckshot and Karma. But wait a minute, Gabe. Gabe falls down. And now it goes into a 1v1v1. What looked good here for Gabe and Pokes has now gone south very quickly. It all comes down to Pokes, but Pokes takes out Ruick Shot. There's now going to be a 1v1. One person left right below Pokes. He can do this if he plays his game. He's going to have an up build. Player was not aware. That was Karma. And man, that could have gone dangerously very quickly, but instead, Pokes is going to get the better of him. My word, that was those are some shenanigans there.
I was very close to going to Twitter and tagging Gabe and accusing him of throwing, but it's a good thing that did not.
That was very dangerous.
I'm curious what led to that, because unless Gabe had absolutely no builds, he's the kind of player that has the awareness to catch himself with the waterfall on the drop in. So I'm wondering if we know what happened there. Meanwhile, okay, Bizzle, one of the most consistent players we've seen, paired with DMO. This is a lethal duo.
Indeed.
On top of that, look at the loadout. Bizzle's inventory, gold AR, purple pump shotgun, purple compact SMG, a gold heavy sniper. The key to open all doors. Takes a shot there, just barely misses, knocks the back wall out. Almost a freebie. Goes for another one. Another miss. Bizzle, please hit your shots. 6 minis.
No health, brother.
Enough HP and shield to last quite a while here.
Looking around too, and Bizzle, he still has yet to connect, but he's going to find some players down low that are rotating, and they don't want to get caught on this hill. Oh, there you go. Secret, and Secret just right through the crack.
He heard me. I have a feeling that
he did that for you.
This is a previous match, but I feel like my voice went back in time, and he heard me. He hit the shot. Thank you, Bizzle, for knocking that one down.
And I didn't know you. I knew that you were a doctor. I just didn't know you had such powers.
Okay.
I didn't know.
Give me another one. Give me another one.
He's going to push this box here, try and get ownership of it. He's got this player very, very concerned now because his teammates dropped. The Storm is beginning to inch in. That's Sevens, who just got capped by Bizzle. And Bizzle waiting for him as he comes out. Good wall block there to try and save himself, give him a little bit of a moment of respite. But who knows if it's going to last that long. He sees that or basically recognizes that he's not in the best of spots because he's surrounded. He knows that this player is down low. He's hearing him clanging and banging throughout that floor. And Bizzle's looking for the opening to just go and challenge the fight. And what a short, not even paying attention, didn't even factor in that someone could have popped up behind him, and Bizzle makes him pay for not recognizing that you always need to pay attention to your surroundings.
You gotta watch your 6 every single second of the way. Bizzle and DMO beaming players on rotation in, one rotating out in the Storm. Curious there. Knock.
Yeah.
Koi Fish goes to the hands and knees. Bizzle and DMO gonna apply pressure, make sure they can pick up what's remaining if there's any chance for loot. Plus, look, a free high ground on a branch that you can now connect back to a main structure. No risk of it getting shot out. Look at everything that is on the side there. They don't have to worry about getting dropped because there's just so much there.
Yeah, there's a lot of structures that will support them in case things go south. But with the way that Bizzle and DMO are playing, I'm not really too concerned about this, and they clearly are paying attention to every single angle that anyone could try and challenge them from. And that was Jajo, who, again, that's what I'm saying. They were paying attention to everything. They knew exactly where they needed to be. Another one's going to dive right into the box here, and it's going to be Bizzle who gets the better of that player, Mitch. Literally, that's what it said, who ends up taking an L on that one. And look at that launch pad, that community launch pad. Up for grabs.
Have to go for it at this point. Beaming Sky.
Oh, look at that.
Bizzle picking up another Elam.
That is just nasty approach there from Bizzle and DMO, right? DMO getting lower, right? Relying on Bizzle with such a solid shot. Just continue to put down shots. Some players, they like to take those shots together from what we've seen in duos, but others, like, they don't mind, like, splitting up just a little bit so that this way someone can cover a little bit more ground. Maybe utilize the shotguns a little bit more, right, in those scenarios. But this has been very, very meticulous from the Ghost crew.
Bizzle almost out of builds there as he reaches the end of that branch. Looks like Souls and Lumber are underneath, building their branch out. K-Mac almost eliminated. Cloudism goes down in the bottom right.
Got to look out for Archangel. Archangel. Oh, Archangel. That makes sense.
That took you a little bit to get there.
It did. As you say it 50 times, it begins to make some sense.
I love going on that journey with you.
Yeah, and you looked at me too, and you saw the steam coming out of my head.
I was curious if you're going to figure it out, and you got it. Brave Boston goes down. Yeah. We're literally down to 7 players, 5 duos total. You'll notice, I was literally going to say, there's only a handful of players on the screen. That means from the top down, there's going to be a descent of players. There's another one. K-Mac.
There's another.
Rog dropping in. Archangel, the high ground over everybody, but DMO and Bizzle playing the low ground warrior position. They're going to look for that shot. This is going to be an easy push. DMO on the outside, going to try and take ownership of the wall. Looks like he can't quite get it.
Smart play.
Bizzle, the rocket. Easy clap, 3 players left, and Archangel all the way up top. They're going to start knocking that structure down. Drop Archangel in. This is a desperation effort for Archangel. If they can get all the way up top and do even just a little bit of damage, it's a better position from before.
Ooh.
The stink grenade. DMO down to what looks like, at this point, not a whole lot of HP. 55 HP, though, for Archangel. The Rockets still applying pressure, trying to build all the way up top. It is not looking good. Golden Boy, a 2v1 like this. You are against 2 of the best players.
Oh!
Almost. DMO, almost.
That could have been really bad, Lupo. That could have been really bad. Because Archangel had that high ground, and those players, because he utilized those stinkers so well. But
tiny zone, man. That covers it all.
Oh, word. Okay, so we're just going to take a break for now. We're going to send it over to Zeke, who has some more updates for us. Zeke?
Thank you guys so much. Bizzle. Man, just absolutely on a tear there with DMO. Now I'm going to give them a joint name, BMO.
Boo.
No, stop. That was a good one. Anyway, guys, we're here with Sundown. Take a look at some of these incredible plays that have happened so far. So, Sundown, what you got?
Yeah, so unlike that pun, these plays were indeed incredible. By Zeke. Now, we're going to take a look. One of the duos that are actually called out in our recap video, Tilt and Mastoris, newly formed, as I said, but this was a while ago. Now that they've gotten their chemistry together, they're able to capitalize on what we call these early point games. Now, what do we mean by that? In these tournaments, like we said, to get into the Champion League, you need to be up to 300 points. However, that does get easier, and it is cumulative over time since you have more time to get in there. What that means for these players who are in that top 0.01%, the ones who are going to be challenging for the qualifying spots, how well do you take advantage of that 1 point per elimination in these early matches? How well can you slay out and make sure you get that victory out, securing not only the 10 from the placement, but as many elimination points as possible. As you can see, Tilt already sitting on 9, Mastoris sitting on 6, as they control this high ground and just rain shots down onto the rest of the lobby. Notice how they're not concerned about trying to finish off any of these elims. They get the down, they keep moving. Solly Boy was the one they had down before. He downs another one, and he keeps moving. Cobb's getting picked up there, and right away, Marok then goes down. Bozo goes down. They just keep taking shots from this high ground position. When you're on the backside of the storm, you're uncontested, you don't have to worry, and the ramping out, one player can ramp for 2 guys. They're only using 2 materials for each one of the tile spaces they need to push, compared to the guys tunneling who need to use 6 minimum. Eventually, they'll run out before you do, and they keep picking great targets. I mean, they said it was clinical. It was, in fact, a clinic. When they do decide to drop down, make the 1v2 look easy. No problem there. And another duo who is clinical, and also they got some trap swagger coming out of it. Gabe and Pokes, first one there, Juju Man being picked up, and weren't able to convert on this, but that's one of the strengths of the heavy sniper. We talk about how versatile it is in the close range, but also picking up the long range 157. Clown Star going down again, and Pokes in the close quarter. Nice little trap to follow it up. Didn't quite need it, but gets the conversion onto Gauzy anyway, and still just working their way from that high ground down, using teamwork and making sure they're coordinating their fire anytime they get challenged, and then also when they have an exposed target on the low ground. Pokes also with a little bit of swagger there, dropping down, hitting him with that pump into the AR swap, and then also 90ing out with this total of 4 builds at the end. But great eliminations, great victory rounds, and that's what it takes to jump you up the leaderboard. So let's take a look at it, Zeke.
Let's take a look at the current standings coming out of NA East right there at the top. TXG's Nut and Zunny with 60 points. Now keep in mind, we have that games remaining, which is very important. 7 games left for these guys, still 7 points ahead of second place, which is Energy, Zate, and Ghostaf. Now don't forget, guys, this is qualifying in for tomorrow, so top 3,000 will move on. But still, point spread's not bad. No,
point spread not bad. However, definitely more spread out from what we saw at EU during this point in time. While it's been around 3 to 2 games for each one played, 18-point separation. So Nut and Zundi definitely able to take advantage of kind of the eliminations, the thing we were just talking about, but also want to pay attention here to, oh, high five, sorry, Zate and Saf, a duo who we haven't seen necessarily working themselves off the board as often, right back in their place, 53 points, and then Tilt and Mastoris just below them at 53 as well. And don't forget, tomorrow, 3 spots will be up for grabs, so you got to be that tall to ride the ride. If you find yourself in the top 3, you'll find yourself in New York City. However, today, it's top 1,500 duos.
There you have it. Now, guys, obviously, we still have coverage that needs to be covered. Double word there. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So we're going to send it back over to Lupo and our incredible Golden Boy to get us into more action. Gentlemen, sending it back your way.
Zeke with the redundancy. Appreciate that, bud. Nut and Zundi, the outside here, 2 very fun names to say.
I just, you know, I've, as you know, and as I've mentioned a million times, you know, I've been doing this for a very long time.
We get that you are the most popular caster here.
Tenured expert.
Yes.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, you were on TV.
In my days, I have never commentated a guy named Nut.
Yeah, this is a first for me as well. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. If you're joining us
territory.
from home, We're watching Zundy and Nut, NA East.
It's kind of like it'll be like a great buddy cop movie, you know, like the wild adventures of Zundy and Nut. It's like
I would watch that.
It's good.
Well, when does it come out? Oh, like I'm ready.
Yeah.
Check the websites, trying to buy tickets already, dude.
Yeah, that's right. Oh,
very aggressive push there.
Oh, it was polarized.
Goes down.
I've seen Polarized before. He's a very good player, so kind of shocked to see him get caught like that, but we're going to have Nut and Zundy. It feels like you can't say Nut without emphasizing it, but I'm going to try my best not to and just carry on with the conversation. But this great high ground control here. They just need to be a little careful, right, because they're exposed, and you never know, like especially the players that are maybe like located like further to their left or right now to their right. Like, you got to be mindful of the fact that one of them might have a snipe, and if you're not careful, you could get picked off big time.
Cannot gargoyle for too long there. Somebody might take the opportunity, get a quick headshot, especially when you have players like Bizzle, Demo, Tfue, Cloak, extremely accurate, very fast reactions. Even just a quarter of a second might be too long.
Okay, they're planning this shot out. They want to plan. Okay, I thought that they were going to go for the plan and go for the double. If they have double heavies, you can go shot, and then you pick off whatever player was there at the wall because they wouldn't have time to be able to build out and respond. You got to time it beautifully, and a lot of duos, they've been practicing that quite a bit. It's very impressive to see. But now, though, you got the TXG duo applying pressure on these players that are going to be located out toward that northern side. And Polar Peak was another area that had a meteorite or whatever that was. Not a meteorite. It's not a meteorite because it didn't come from space. But is that what justifies that? I mean, I guess so, right?
Excellent observation there. It did, in fact, not come from space.
Yeah. I like how you say that. You're like, excellent observation, Alex.
Well done. Well done.
That was not space. That was a volcano.
The feed up there looks like Uno picks up an Elim. Murph goes down as well as Strugs. Zundy and Nut trying to rotate their way in the zone. A little bit of, that redeploy last second from Nut, saving from any fall damage. Trapping behind and gets caught. Oh my gosh. Spooky Addison pays the price. A little bit too much aggression there. Going directly into the box of Nut, who does place that trap down. See him on the outside. Strugs is maybe going to tick out the bottom of your screen there. Zundy and Nut trying to.
There they go. They got it.
The structure behind.
They destroyed the structure.
Expect the falling player soon. I would.
Still there it is. Goodbye. And all the redeploy comes in.
Saves last second. A little bunny hop to the outside while they're building. Well played there. Zundy taking a little bit of fall damage. Dropping down. Same level as opponent now. Trying to build back up towards his duo. Strugs in the feed picking up an Elim. We saw him just seconds ago. Was almost gone. Still in this match. Beaming from above.
And that's so rough to have to deal with, right? Because you're taking those shots from above, but you know that there's going to be a player that if you don't own the wall, you end up losing it. But Nobu Payne goes down. And that was a nice, good tracking, I should say, from Zundy, who recognized that he had that moment, that brief opportunity. Was a little, hard to tell given the issue with the spec there, but, you know, they did take some damage earlier on. I believe he was the one that ended up dealing with that fall damage. But regardless, moving on from that, we have players we saw pick up a victory royale earlier. Masterus and Tilt, once again, are going to be in this game, and unfortunately not having the same fortune that they had last time. Masterus and Tilt are going to be ejected from the game courtesy of Zundy and Nut, and now they're just looking to continue to pile on more eliminations. They're at, what is this going to be? There are 14 eliminations right now and counting if it keeps going like this. Lupo, this is a very, very well put together game by these guys. Even though Zundy's down, Nut still has that epic RPG. Down low, he's going to shoot it. He's going to shoot it. He manages to hit him for 116 blue for that one. Needs to be careful. It's going to be 4 players remaining in this one. His teammate still is going to be in the game. That's why it's counting, even though he will be out of the action. You got Enigmafy, who'll be down low, goes in for it, but it's going to be Nut who gets the win, the victory royale, and picks up 15 eliminations to boot.
Nut and Zundy, what a win. Then yes, I did not think I would get to the point in my life where I would commentate a game that included a player with the name Nut.
Yeah,
hats off.
Never thought that would happen, but all right, I believe we are going to have Sundown out in the studio right now. Sundown, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, so we do need to go to a quick, short little break, had an issue in the back, but we're gonna fix that all on up. We'll get it sorted, so don't go anywhere. We'll have some more NA East matches for you shortly, so hold on tight. Dr. Lupo will know if you go anywhere, and I'm just gonna T-post till we clear out.
Jump on and drop in. It's time to kick off the Fortnite World Cup competition. From April 13th to June 16th, we'll be running Fortnite World Cup Online Opens, where you can qualify to compete for your chance at a piece of the $30 million prize pool. But how will these work, you ask? Each week will alternate back and forth between solos and duos competition, with players qualifying from each server region in Oceania, Asia, Europe, Brazil, NA East, and NA West. To find specifics for your server region, go to Fortnite.com/World Cup. To play in the online opens, you'll need to compete in the new Arena mode, an always-on form of competition where players can rank up tiers and leagues. It all starts in the Open League, and when players earn 125 points, they'll advance into Contenders League. After that, you'll need to build your way up to 300 points to unlock Champion League, where the Saturday online open players will be chosen. Then, we'll take the top 3,000 solo players or 1,500 duos from that Saturday's semifinals and advance them to the Sunday finals. Each Sunday, 20 players will rise to the top and qualify to join us in New York for the Fortnite World Cup Finals. Buckle up, because we're officially on the road to the Fortnite World Cup Finals. In just a few months, we'll see the greatest Fortnite players in the world go head-to-head to determine who will take the title of World Cup champion and become part of the global phenomenon that is Fortnite. Hundreds of players will compete on stage in New York City for their chance at ultimate battle royale glory and their piece of $30 million. But let's look back at how we got here. The competition was hot at our first major live event at PAX West, where we held the Summer Skirmish finale. This open format pitted over 900 players against each other, and Morgassi was able to rise out of the masses and take home nearly $250,000.
A life-changing amount of money.
Fall Skirmish came next, where 500 players competed not only in Battle Royale competitions, but build-offs, challenges, bake-offs, and cosplay competitions to win prizes and valued club points. This all came to an insane conclusion at TwitchCon, where Tfue and Cloaksy were able to fend off the competition and win it all.
It's Tfue and Cloaksy!
Finishing off the year, we dove into the Winter Royale when the first ever open online qualifier was hosted, featuring the top 200 players from North America and Europe. In the end, the Stream Skype dominated the European qualifier, semifinal, and final to come out on top. And on NA, Nolan beasted his way through the rounds, outperformed the Infinity Blade, and took home the crown. 2019 kicked off with the Secret Skirmish, where Ghost Saf and Rise Ronaldo took the top spot in duos, and the solos competition ended with an unbelievable performance from Ghost Bizzle, who took it all with the most clutch Fortnite finish in competitive history.
Skating around, shot comes in, a limb for Bizzle, turns on the player above. That's it! He deagled the floor! Bizzle with the victory!
But this unbelievable action isn't limited to offline events. We've watched competitors get themselves ready for the Fortnite World Cup through their participation in the online tournaments. Fully open qualifiers for all players 13 and up has definitely shaken up the standard. Starting with the Scallywag Cup, familiar players like Saf and Zayt are continuously flaunting their skills, and we also saw new faces like WBG's Rux and Pika. But the veterans and big names aren't backing down, with players new and old challenging each other non-stop for the top spot. Beehive was a prime example of this in the European Blackheart Cup, continuing his absurdly consistent streak of dominating open competitions, while the Argentinian Dzeko was able to show off his elimination skills in a dominant Brazil region victory. After that, we saw 2 duo competitions, the Lux Cup and the World Cup warm-up, with a fantastic mix of challengers and established veterans able to claw their way up the leaderboard. The newly formed duo of Perfect Tilt and Mastoris have shown that they are not to be messed with, while the newly eligible European youngsters like Mongro, Benji Fishy, Osmo, and Milan showing that they are as good as everyone believed. But let's not forget about Oceania and Asia, where we've seen the Chiefs duo of Sync and Skyla continually upsetting the standard and dominating the ladder. And Medicino, Top Fax Fox, and the Crazy Raccoon Boys have all had incredible performances over in the East. We've seen so many different players come to the fore, but nothing on the scale like this. Who will be the next Margassi? Will a Tfue or Cloak-like pair continue their domination? Will our winners be someone who qualifies early, or will they have to sweat it out every weekend to make it onto the World Cup final stage? We could not be more excited to see the story unfold and to watch these players ascend to greatness. And who knows, one of them could be you.
We're back. I tripped over a cord.
Z.
My bad.
I told you, keep your mini potions covered unless you're actively drinking them, please.
All right, guys, and with that, we're going back into the game now.
My bad.
Whatever you do, don't drink that. I mean, that...
Leave it up to Zeke.
No,
leave it up to Zeke to spill things.
Okay.
Well, hey, look, I know them.
Oh, yeah. I do too.
I feel like I've seen actually all 3 of those names pretty often.
All right, Godnik, Cloak, Tfue, yep.
So the reason I brought it up, Tfue.
We get it, you're friends with them.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, okay.
They're cool, we get it, man.
I've got Tfue and Cloak, you have the Rock, relax. So, Tfue last week put on a ridiculous showing.
Oh, boy.
Able to qualify in solos while not feeling well. A lot of people, there were talks of whether or not he was able to stay competitive, and I think he promptly silenced those. And here we join the legend himself with his teammate Cloak, both players from FaZe. I am hoping for big things from these 2.
Yeah, same here. You know, I'll be honest and say, like, this duos like Tfue and Cloak, you know, everyone knows what they're capable of. You know, they've won events in the past, right? Like, really, really good players. I hope that, you know, like, is this the weekend, right? Because there's still a lot of duos that I want to see make it through, whether it's like, you know, like Cease Elevate or Zayt and Saf. You know, like we have great duos that are in this competition, and you know there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of pressure on these players, and as these lobbies get more and more competitive, they're going to be the ones that you know, we're going to be keeping a keen eye on.
Speaking of keeping an eye on KiwiFace and Creo, 2 very, very good players, all the way to the top of your screen as well. Zay and Beach have the top down on everybody in this lobby right now. Doesn't mean that if you're at the bottom, you're in a bad spot, but it is a situation where on rotation, there are going to be people that are looking for opportunities to take shots on Creative, I believe. Yep, just moments ago. Lost his duo to Tfue. They're making the rotation. 15 shield, 84 HP. Gold pump shotgun beaming behind, has the great, not reacting nearly fast enough.
Wow.
Duo as well, Midas. Neither one turned and defended against that. Was there there wasn't even a structure in the, no, there was not. There was an opportunity for a wall placement there. Didn't get it, and Uncreative topped almost all the way back off now, 99.
Oh, wait. Look at Tfue. Look at Tfue.
Oh, my.
Oh,
Are you kidding me?
This isn't happening.
Do it. Pop out and do it. You know you want to.
Oh, he's waiting for him.
Biding his time. He's looking for a very clear window. Shots from above there. Not
and
sure
they can go and maybe be a loot goblin, perhaps, or the community launch pad too. That's something he could use to his benefit. And Cloak is going to be out of the game, so it seems like something happened that prompted Cloak and Tfue to separate like that, and made Tfue play in that low ground warrior spot. You saw him in the corner of the screen there as well. But then you have KiwiFace is still going to be in this game. A lot of good duos. Desire and Norman, seeing those names pop up quite a bit. You also had Yink, who was on that zip line there, and a good use of the zip line because you don't take any fall damage from it. So it's a good item or good utility movement tool to be able to utilize here. But KiwiFace goes into the fight now. He's going to take out Glitch, and that was going to be very well done there by Creo, forcing that player back. They just jumped on in.
I don't know if you noticed that. There was an opportunity for a top down from Kiwi, but he rotated around to join Creo in the same spot so they can push through the same wall together. You have players that will go for, you have one basically spraying, trying to get the wall ownership. The other player will literally just hold forward. They won't necessarily spray the entire time. The fear being if your teammate does get the wall replaced, you don't want to break it and potentially give it back to your opponent. So you have a player, just so people at home understand, I'm actually standing next to Golden Boy doing this, just holding forward against the wall.
Yep.
Because as soon as the wall breaks, your teammate takes ownership, they edit open, you just walk right in, pump shotgun out, or SMG, whatever the situation might be. It's free Elam.
Yeah, a lot of players, and again, that comes down to that coordination, knowing, and hey, do this, I'm going to handle this, right? Like, there are just different roles that need to be had in those moments, and Creo and Kiwi Face, they're going to have this mid ground here, but the high ground for these players at the low, and this is looking really good. Also, up above, you're going to have Tubby and Dope High. And then you have Norman and Desire that are going to be down low, right below them. But look for Creo and Kiwi Face. Those are two players that, if they're still in this game, they are very, very dangerous. Although I do like Dope High and Tubby's chances. These are names that we've seen popped up so many times in competitive Fortnite. And I would not be shocked if they are the team that comes away with the victory royale here, given their position. Even with Tubby out of the game, Dope High still has a great spot because of where this zone is going to be moving.
I did notice.
Oh, look at Brian!
Brian's still in it. He's stuck against the edge.
He was using the smoke bomb. He used the smoke bomb to get up, so he was on that low ground and then smoke bomb and then jumped all the way up here. But he needs to be careful because Dope High is right next to him, and Dope High picks up the elimination. Big play there, and we'll be able to get those minis and also that big pot too to bring him up to 100 shields.
Creo, Kiwi Face sitting on the campfire right there, a couple minis and a full shield to pop. Going to be full. Both players. Desire taking out all the way to the bottom. A 2v1 situation. Dope Eye all the way up top. Creo, Kiwi Face having to low ground warrior on a mountain. One of the worst situations you can find yourself in, but they are very, very much attached to the edge here. There's no real big risk of drop down. The Stink using it as a way to zone out your opponent. Just apply HP tags, as many as you can, dropping all the way down. Creo had to dodge his own Stink. Shots from underneath. Kiwi Face, Creo, both looking to break these branches, see if they can drop Dope Eye all the way down.
Oh, no. Though. This isn't good, Lupo. This is not looking good here. I mean, really, both teams, Dope Eye and then the LZR guys, like, this is a really rough spot to be in. Just a lot of structures are going to be in their way. But Dope Eye is looking for the opening. He's waiting for that moment that they're going to push on in. And then they have the numbers advantage short, but Dope Eye is going to be right next to them. He ends up tagging him, but there you go. So the numbers played out in their favor. The mathematics definitely checked out, and Kiwi Face and Creo get the dub.
Honestly, a valiant effort. He got a 121 from above and a chance to swap through an SMG. If you got a couple lucky headshots sequentially, that was a knock.
You see him?
The other was not exposed yet. It was a chance.
Exactly.
Right here, 3.
I think that is the more interesting part of that fight, where it's like you kind of have to make something out of nothing. You don't really have much of a choice, but we're going to make something out of this next game because we are back in it, and we got a duo that I am very excited to check out is Zate and Saf. This is, although they're in two separate teams, Energy and Ghost, this is a phenomenal duo. They work so well together, and dare I say, when you think about duos in Fortnite, if these two guys are not the names that come out of your mouth the first, second, or third, you're crazy, because this is a premier duo in this game.
One of the #1 duos, in my opinion, is Tim and Fall Damage, but we have Saf here. Actually, Zate looks like he's gone already, so we don't get to see the full duo in action, but Saf is going to build back up here. Took out an educational moose. You hate to see it. Just trying to teach the people. 61 points, by the way, at this point for Saf, which is excellent. That's definitely, I would consider that almost a guaranteed qualify for Sunday's games. You have to land the top 1,500 duos to advance to the day where everything is on the line for these players.
This is a duo that I'm never really that concerned about. Their skill is unprecedented. They know exactly, and that actually is a unique little drop pad or jump pad as well, because you have that ramp there that's actually going to spike him out to the left.
Horizontal movement there, bouncing off of it. Sadly landing in kind of a high pressure area. Multiple teams looking like they're trying to take shots here. 56, 55 builds. Has 2 more launch pads. Has a rift to go. So the mobility, it's all there. And on top of that, two campfires. Like the loadout here kind of couldn't be much better than it is. Maybe you'd hope for some minis or a full shield instead of that medkit, but if you look at the late game, medkit very, very important.
Yep.
Pop a couple campfires in the last second, use that to have it activate just before you take out the storm.
3 different rotational tools, right? 2 jump pads and that rift to go. That should keep Saf alive long enough so that they can start to get some points, which they're going to need to. They're right there, right? Just 2 duo teams left with Saf. Ooh, you got to be careful. And the med kit, that's going to help. He's got to pop that as soon as possible because he's not going to have a lot of seconds left. But the problem is he's getting pressured, and he knows it. He knows he's getting pressured. He needs to be able to reset, so he does get that opportunity to do so, and he will get back up to 100 health, but doesn't have the shields.
Finishes that use there. Reloading the RPG. Meanwhile, Faden landing right next to a crate here, supply crate. Could even be a chug jug inside. Could be very, very big value, but it is questionable whether or not Faden's gonna be able to take even a look at what's in the box. The number of shots from Fuzzlesaur and his duo.
Look how many shots are going in their direction. I think it's like I see like
everybody.
4 different tracers that are like connecting with his structures. Faden just needs a moment to reset here. Hope for something, but a player's gonna drop right in and Fuzzlesaur is gonna pay for that one. I can't believe it. Still managing to stay in this game. Faden, that could have went very, very south for him, but he manages to stabilize on that fight. We'll get that moment to pop the minis as well. So what became a really risky situation has actually become a positive here. Tags another one, and I can't believe it, but oh no, he's taking so much damage, ended up getting blocked by himself outside, and that is going to be the end of the run there for Faden, but that was very impressive. Then, speaking of great players in this lobby, you have Landjock and Punisher. They're in a battle right now with Saf, and Punisher, he's actually getting hurt quite a bit. Landjock goes down. He gets, oh my word, he gets the eliminations, and he's able to stay in the game.
Saf actually just dropped.
Both members are complexity. He don't care if you're part of the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to stomp you out. Clearly.
Unbelievable. Landing direct on a player. Almost expecting a trap play there. He had the box ownership if he wanted it. Didn't go for it. The trap inside from the opponent, looks like.
This is just Saf, dude. What a nasty game from him. I mean, even if he doesn't win it, you still got to be impressed with it. And I kind of feel like I kind of cursed it there.
Had that landed, that would have been absolutely massive. Saf had both players on surprise there. The rocket dropping them both in, but it looks like the reaction here from Crixium. Quick little 180 pump flick. Gets the elimination on Saf. Still an excellent game. Neff goes down. Quick little pump shot there. 48 on rotation. You're going to have to push outside in the storm. Don't get caught on your own ramp.
Yeah, he gets taken a lot of damage, Lupo. That just has to hurt. You got Famhood in here as well as Sheep. Then you have Z-Laner up above in the ultimate high ground. Poppin' is going to be in the mid. So Icon and Z-Laner are going to have the ultimate high. So we'll be sure to keep eyes on them. But for now, though, we're going to pay attention to Poppin'. Wants to try and see if he can find some players, maybe in the low ground warriors here. We'll find one target. That's going to be Mint, who goes down, and we'll reap the benefits of the Siphon as well as the much necessary resources so he can continue to tarp off and give himself some cover here.
5 duos remaining, 6 players total. Z-Laner and Icon all the way up top. The only ones left that are in a full duo. Canada, Sheep, Crixium, Poppin', all down below, all boxed up near each other as they rotate away. Canada, honestly, the high ground above everybody, it turns out the most exposed to the team from FB all the way up top. Crixium goes down. Sheep, Canada, Poppin' in a 1v1v1 while third-party shots from above from Icon and Z-Laner. They're going to have to waterfall very soon. They don't want to get dropped down. No applying pressure. The boom bow combined with an AR just spraying surfaces. Poppin'.
They're so high up.
Those two down the bottom are more worried about each other, which means the beams from above, the shots from above, are so crucial to be timed correctly that you can get all the damage in, steal those eliminations from potentially a 1v1, which turns out they couldn't get it. Poppin' did pick that one up, but a 2v1 here. We've seen a couple in the past. The last few games, we've had situations where one player that has the height advantage.
He went up above him. He went up above him trying to get the high ground. I can't believe it. He went for that ambitious play up above, but Poppin, does he reap the benefits of it? No, it's gonna be the FB duo that wins it out, but Poppin went for the jump pad play, tried to go up, catch them off guard, but the way that the structures were built guaranteed that they were not going to get caught in a situation where they would have allowed him to have that high ground presence. Very well done there by FB.
Probably the only play in the situation, too, because at that point, you know you're getting shot repeatedly from above.
Not a lot of builds left.
They're waiting for each other's reloads, so you're going to constantly have to try and build against it. It was all or nothing.
Yeah. You got second place. You picked up 7 points for that, as well as the elimination points. That is a
feels good.
Yeah, that's a good game for that duo, for Poppin and his teammate. So not a lot really to be disappointed with. But we're back into yet another game. This time we're going to be with Fanatics and Percent.
Flying all the way across here, using that launch pad to try and make a rotation. Build back up, see if you can get to a safe enough spot. This kind of maneuver we've seen plenty of times. Pretty common that they're utilizing community resources, a structure that's already built from somebody else as an opportunity to land, you know, build up a couple of quick layers.
Oh.
Here, the campfire through the wall as it's building, it's very, very visible. So applying pressure in this situation, you're hoping that maybe they're not paying attention and a shot might sneak through and pick up an Elon. Tilt Mastoris, who we were watching the first game, also in here.
I also saw Rote as well, and his teammate. So they're going to be in this game. Some good players in this lobby. Got to be on the lookout for this one here. And there goes that drop as well. But these players are not going to be too concerned about that at this point in time. They're going to try and see if they can get inside. And then, just as we say that, the Rift to Go comes out, and they're going to go right back up to that high ground. Fanatics, thankfully for him, does not get tagged at all.
Planes another top down here. Mastoris.
Blue tee right there.
A lot of players making rotations around underneath here. There's Rote. Throw a box up.
Lyricin's in this game too. Gonna have Scratch as well. There's just a lot of good players. Enigmafy as well. Like guys we've seen pop up in the feed a few times. It really is just gonna get harder and harder and harder as these games go on. More talent are going to continue to rise up. They're going to continue to gain more points. And then the competition becomes that much more dire. These players here.
I think on that rotation, as soon as Felix flew up in the air, including the one that they just placed down, there were 4 launch pads all at the same time. ZQW going down. Felix picking up an elimination there. Puts him at 44 points total. Trying to go for the wall replaces and defend against people that may be applying pressure through what they've already built, picking up a little bit of loot on the move. 100 builds, decent spot. Gatorade, look, you see there, trying to rotate away, pretty much one shot. Tilt floating in. Joker, Existent, and Z Fisher have the high ground above everybody else at this point, though.
I'm really curious about Blue T and Roat because they're in that mid position, and this is a spot where you see players pull incredible runs out of there. Players are rotating, they're trying to benefit from the kind of the chaos of it all, but Cool Gamer is going to go down courtesy of Vix, gets Existent as well, knocks him down, and as the Storm creeps on forward, it is going to eliminate those players, and he's hoping that it kicks in at any point in time, and it does. He does manage to get the siphon from it. He gets another one. That's going to be Cool Gamer who goes down, as well as Rain, and that will give him the siphon and bring him back up. But it just, like, everything falls apart at that moment. I thought that was going to be such a great run there, and then Timber just crushes him.
Imagine a feed of 4 eliminations so quickly, and it just immediately gets stomped out on the move. You hate to see it.
Absolute carnage.
Meanwhile, look at the ball of players that are rotating in with the circle. You see in the top left, the count is literally dropping as they move. Players are dropping in on top of each other, down to 9 players. 2 total duos, or 2 full duos, apologies. Shatang, Enigmafy, one of those 2 as they're rotating in ahead of the Storm. Right on the edge there, Tilt goes down. Mastoris, his teammate, already eliminated earlier. 7 players left, 5 duos. Going to be potentially full HP here for Enigma here in 1 second. Shatang's duo is very, very low. A little bit of heal.
Okay.
That could be very, very big.
Oh,
surprise!
What? Gatorade jumps right down in front of Enigmafy, but Enigmafy is going to shut him down with that blue pump. His teammate, though, goes down, shot tank out of the fight. Lyrison, ultimate high ground with explodes. That also has to deal with Armand, who's looking at him as well. And Lyrison, very low on shields, will need to just restabilize for a moment, pop the minis, get himself back into a spot that could benefit him. Armand able to get out of that one as the rocket was right next to him. A boogie bomb goes down too. Enigmafy is going to feel that one, is going to feel the beat, but Enigmafy cannot get in there in time. And no, it's going to be Lyrison who picks up the victory royale with 1 elimination, 4 eliminations for the duo. Very well done. But let's send it over to Zeke over at the studio.
What an awesome game. NA East never disappoints. I'm here with Sundown. We're going to be breaking down some awesome things. Sundown, what's up?
Yeah, so definitely checking out some awesome plays and awesome players. One of our solo qualifiers is going to kick it off, doing some work with his duo DMO. So, I mean, honestly, we've seen this clip so many times. The high ground on the backside of the storm, if you're ready with rifle fire or coordinated shotguns, you're going to be able to take down these clips, getting 2 quick eliminations there and challenging every single time there's somebody close. They're coordinating, making sure they pick that person off and taking him all the way out there. Mitch going down, and then Bizzle tracking that player through, cleaning up the blooms, and Ice got you? Well, no, Bizzle got you there. But again, controlling the high ground and dropping from the high ground to tarp to tarp. That's one of the key advantages that's not often talked about on the high ground. With low mats, you're able to choose when you challenge down. And here, it's huge because they actually have the other teammate editing while the other shoots. So Bizzle's taking the shot, Demo edits the wall, Bizzle finding a great angle there. And speaking of great angles, look at him turn an immediate target acquisition. Does take some chip, but he was ready to go. Now, this match was a tale of 2 different duos. Dopeye from the high ground was able to work his way down, and while Tubby did get picked up there, Dopeye is able to get the elim. Now Creo on the mid tarp is trying to cover for Kiwi Face. As they get separated, he's able to pick up an elimination, and then they work back together. Dopeye got challenged by Bryant, who used the shadow bomb up top, and then he picks it up. But now notice he doesn't have the mat, so while he gets the first shot in the 1v2, nothing to replace it with, and the Lazarus boys are able to use their number advantage to very much trade that one out. One going and the other closing it off. Now, just watch this 1v2. This is so good by Saf. Edits the player down, throws the ramp, poison trap one side, spike trap the other, holds the ramp edit, gets himself down, gets the confirmed knock, edits the ramp back in the way to pick up Landjock, then gets both of the siphons to come through at the last possible moment to pick it up. So let's watch this again in slow-mo. Edits him down, throws the ramp up. 1 trap, 2 trap. Traps confirm and go off, but he still needs to pick up the down. However, Landjock's going to be pressuring from above, so as that shot comes in, he ramps it back off, edits it back out the other way, and gets the 173 to convert over, getting the cleanups on both of them, and then is able to press out. That is brilliant from Saf. One of the best players we've seen, one of the most consistent duos in the game, and honestly showing that he can get it done with or without a partner. And I mean, now let's take a look at the leaderboard. Not surprised to see them up there. Still 5 games remaining, but starting to kind of cause that gap there, Zeke.
That was one of the most disgusting plays I think I've ever seen Saf. Just pat yourself on the back. That was insane. But yeah, you know, it's a great point. We still have a lot of players with 5 games remaining. Down there, we got Poppin and Jackie Sky with 7 games remaining, and they're at 54 points, so they have quite a ceiling as well that they could potentially jump up. Again, guys, these are qualifiers. Top 3,000 players for the respective region move on to tomorrow's finals.
So top 1,500 duos.
Sorry, 3,000 players.
No, it's still top 3,000 players, but for NA East, the top 3 will be the ones moving on to New York City. So have to be this tall to ride the ride, and come join us July 26th to 28th at the Fortnite World Cup Final.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Now we are going to throw to a short break, but don't go anywhere, because when we return, we'll have more Fortnite action heading your way, so stay tuned.
What's going on, Fortnite fam? Sundown here, and we'll be hanging out with Bala and Zeke as we recap Week 3 of the Fortnite World Cup Online Open Qualifiers.
Week 3 started off with a bang, as Cat Taking Walls, Jinx, Link, and Lucid FN were all battling it out for the top spot. In the end, Cat Taking Walls was able to secure himself the first qualifying spot with 80 points and punched his ticket to the finals in New York City.
Top Banny was the clear victor coming out of the Asia region. His 102-point score was 20 points over the qualification threshold and 17 points ahead of the second player to qualify. Takamura was able to earn the second qualification spot out of Asia, overcoming a slower start to storm up the leaderboard and into the final.
Over in Europe, the competition was fierce, as players aimed to take one of the 8 spots up for grabs. Ultimately, Luki TJK took the #1 spot with 69 points, followed closely by Cooler Left Eye at 68 and Fledermoys at 67 points. Tfue finished his matches early, ending with 63 points, and it was enough to secure 4th place. Core Gaming GG was able to win his last match to secure 5th, with Wakey just behind him in 6th. The last 2 spots were taken by Fact LOL Boom from Ireland and Secret to Mentos from Latvia, rounding out the top 8 from Europe.
Brazil had a huge opportunity in Week 3 as they had a second qualifying spot. It was an all-out brawl, but after the dust has settled, I'm Lasers was sitting at the top of the leaderboard with 79 points. 2 players tied second with 76 points. Kurtz and 9Z Lagardo had their eyes set on the finals, but Kurtz edged out the competition with his back-to-back Victory Royale.
North America kicked off with 6 spots to earn in the East. Tfue was able to secure first place, netting himself 69 points with a last match Victory Royale. TTV Unknown X Army became the first controller player to earn his spot, gathering 67 points to take second place. Qualifying spots 3, 4, and 5 were taken by FaZe Funk, Niddle FN, and CLG Som with 64 points apiece. Week 1 qualifier dubs was in 6th place, which meant Misfits Clicks secured the final solo qualification spot and also became the first player from North America to qualify for both solos and duos in the Fortnite World Cup Finals.
The final 2 spots of the day were up for the taking in NA West. KNG's Epic Whale posted 81 points to claim first place, 10 points clear of the cutoff for qualification. The final qualifying spot was earned by Stepbro Karhu. The 14-year-old, originally from Finland, was able to secure 73 points, barely edging out Liquid Scented for his trip to the Fortnite World Cup Finals in New York City.
That's it from us. Thanks for hanging out, Bala and Zeke, and we'll see you guys on the Battle Bus.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Fortnite World Cup Online Open Qualifier. Golden Boy here, and we've had some fun today. There have been some great moments. I don't know if you saw in the BTS, Zeke almost eliminated himself. Anyway, it's time to jump into some more games. I love how, because like I'm in the studio by myself, so no one can laugh, and it actually sounded pretty like a terrible joke, but it was hilarious. So we have our casters for this game. Honestly, if I'm keeping it 100, I don't really know who it is. So who's it going to be? Door number 1. Oh, it's Sundown, and oh, it's the ultimate duo themselves. I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to eat some food. Bye.
Well, guys, week 4. It's game time, duos, and hopefully these duos treat each other with respect. Not like in the BTS where I almost ate dirt because my duo partner almost knocked me over, but you know what? It's fine. Let's
we're partners now? I didn't sign up for that big of a backpack, man. You know what? Enough of our corny jokes. Let's get right on into the matches. We're hopping on in with NA East. It's the back half of the games. Yes, this is post-Volcano, so Tilted and Retail have been wiped out. There's a nice little scorch there on Polar Peak, but we're going to start the action off here with Pulsar PS and his partner, Benny Bounce.
Benny bounce, 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 bounce over at Paradise Palm. I'm sorry, that was I thought it would be funnier, and it was funnier in my head. 30 players, 18 duos remain. These guys are sitting on 3 eliminations as a duo. So guys, if you're just tuning in, first of all, welcome. Hope you've had an awesome Saturday. Let's get you guys up to speed, starting with that format in case you've forgotten. Top 15, top 10, top 5, and victory around all those placement thresholds. Keep in mind those are flat, cumulative points rather, so it's 10 total available up for placement with each elim being a point. Now we're gonna hop in with Cloud and see what's going on. I don't see a duo partner, so his partner may have been eliminated.
Yeah, it looks like he's riding solo here and also riding on off with that quad launcher, utilizing the lack of fall damage and quad crasher, excuse me. Yep, good call right there, Zeke. Good comms, good comms.
Good comms,
but
good comms.
Getting himself over into the center of the zone. 30 players remaining, 18 duos left, so 6 solo riders hanging on out there. Otherwise, everyone else has a partner. Now Cloud trying to find some shots here. Gonna find 30 white. Can he connect? He does. El Damien going down, trying to convert on it. Knows the partner's going to be watching that and gets the hits. There you go. Nice little elimination point for him there as he resets. And the rest of the rotation is going to come out now. Since we are in Circle 5 and onward, we're only dealing with those moving and overlapping zones. What that means is the safe zone does not close inside of that same circle, but instead moves outside of it, as you can see in that bottom right-hand corner, as my sticks picks up 2 quick elims right there to take us down to 28 players left in the lobby.
That's right, this lobby has to dwindle. Another 8 duos need to fall before, or sorry, 3 duos rather, need to fall before we start giving out those placement points. Deadbolt here with his teammate Koenig are in a very tough spot because Koenig is in critical right now. His teammate Deadbolt puts the trap. Is anything going to go through? It does. FC, they're going down. A bunch of loot heading over their way, but keep in mind his shields were cracked, so he's only going to go back up to 44. Still better than 0, all things considered, but Conky's going to need something. The half shields, the minis rather. If he can find a half shield, maybe an elimination along the way, he'll be all right. And actually, you can see his health bar ticking in the bottom left, so he had popped a slurp. He's going to be okay after this, but the rotation begins. Yeah, rotation end up coming out now. Iconic directly in front of another player. Going to pick up Jetsium there as we get into that top 15. So big Elam right there, 4 points worth, pushing him into the placement threshold, and now just trying to tarp his way up, making sure he's covering above himself, but not covering behind him, knowing he was on the edge of the storm, just trying to make it over to his teammate, and he does. So good rotation there from Deadbolt. Now they're going to look to try and find whatever shots they can, getting the RPG up, pressuring that opponent, knowing he's stuck out towards that storm, trying to find the edit down, instead finding the drop down, which gets him his own elim. Great pickup there onto Wallspar as we move into the top 10. Pulsar picking up 2. Cappy and Mystic still picking up. You have Lavish, Enzo, and Uzi on the low ground. Deadbolt on the middle tarp. Bucky just now getting over to that end zone, and it looks like we have Trophy and one other player up on the high ground directly above My Sticks as Trophy does cement himself in on the far side. Now going to turn and try and take whatever shots he can. Trophy finds Enzo there, who is going down. Now keep in mind, right now, Trophy is by himself. His teammate Damien is already gone, so he's kind of going to be fighting an uphill battle. Nice edit here, but Terry's going to find the player, and there we go.
That edit reset was so good. He edited first, the player looked towards the ball, immediately reset it, popped out a new window as the player had jumped, and another high-value elimination that pushes him into the top 5. So a good little 3-point swing there. Now, you have Uzi and Trophy working towards the mid-ground tarp, both duelists. The other 2 players above and below them as they're trying to work around. Trophy, decent amount of builds here, has the epic pump as well.